hello, hello. Starting things up. I'm giving people a chance to get here. While I take care of my last few things, because it's been taking a few minutes for everybody to come in. Sorry, Boz here. I asked a Frenchman if he played video games. He said, oui, oui, oui. Oui, oui, mon ami. That feels targeted, Nameless. Saribot's looking at you. How are you, Nameless? You having a good day? Maybe. Sari, I'll find you and make you pay for that. Sari hopes so. Alright, I need to close the door and stuff because I accidentally sent out my post that I'm streaming before I finished setting up, so give me like 30 seconds. I'm close, but I wasn't quite there. Oh. I accidentally sent out my notifications, so I'm live now. I'm doing okay. Kind of. How about you, my dear? I'm doing all right. I had an okay day. Let me finish getting in here. Usually do that before I have you guys around. And I'm short, so I have to scrunch into the desk setup. All right, got the headphones. I have no idea what's going on with the mic and why it's so far away, but let's hope it works. Pardon me. I guess you're on your long weekend now, right? Are you still on that 4-day work week? I hope you got some rest finally. Yeah. All right. So this is a video that Kenny and Tomas wanted to see. Number 5 days. I'm tired as heck right now. No, 5 days. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyway, yeah. I don't know how to help you. I'd have to win the lotto or something. Alright, so today it's going to be Waffle Housey things, but I made a promise to Kenny and Tomas to start with this video that they're not here for. So I'm not sure what to do about that right now. How about I skip to the funny? The only way that would help would be winning 1 billion at the lottery so that I don't have to work and can sleep all day long. Fair enough. Alright. So I have no sound. Do you? Crap. Let me just click on it. Nope.
Whether it's your first time at Waffle House or
that time worked. Did you hear that one? I'm trying to look at the indicator. Hold on.
You've been more times than...
No, it looks like it's working now. All right. I'm going to start with this one because it's funny but short, and then I can come back to it when they come in. And I don't mind watching this one twice because it's funny. So I'm going to educate you on being in the South in America. This is going to be awesome. It's 4 minutes of your life. Anyway, I'm sorry, but I'm falling asleep right now. I'm going to leave. Hope you have a great stream day and take care. Also, sound is good. You go get some rest. Go get some rest. I was gonna play it just for you. Why won't this go where I need it to? Alright. I'll go back to the other. I could play a minute of it. Here.
You can remember, because most of those occasions happened after midnight. Here's a helpful refresher on the 10 Commandments of Waffle House. Number 1, thou shalt not murder is, a commandment everywhere, but it should be reminded to Waffle House customers between the hours of 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. And if you ain't got a clue what I'm talking about, then just go ahead and Google employee throws chair at customer. Don't type in Waffle House, just that. You'll see. Number 2, thou shalt look for the smoke. Just like any good barbecue.
Anyway, it's funny. You have a good evening. Bonne nuit, nameless. You get a good night's rest. I'll go back to the other video for the other people. Let's see. Ah, da, 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 da. Boop. Boop. Alright. I'm not sure what I'm doing, but this is what I got asked to do. Alright. I am going to do this for right now while I wait for people to come in. So I'm not like showing people a video that I didn't even make as my intro thing. That seems wrong. Why are my figures looking so weird? Do 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 do. I also know there's like a commercial going on, so even if somebody pops in, they're not gonna pop in. Hmm. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I thought I could look that up and share the video about how that works, but apparently not. I don't know where that interview went. Okay. Well, I'm just waiting for people to show up. I'm just gonna play it. They'll show up if they're gonna show up. Here we go.
I hate small talk. Like can't believe that people are okay with the concept of small talk. Listen, for those of you who don't know, right, small talk is this weird social contract that somehow came into existence, right, that says that whenever you meet someone, rather than asking actually interesting questions that would make an enjoyable conversation, you should ask boring questions instead, for which you don't actually give a fuck what the answer
Uh-huh.
is.
Interesting.
Boring questions like, how's your day going? So what do? Where you from? How's life? Get up to much this weekend? And my favourite,
How's the
lovely
weather?
weather we've been having, isn't it? Which I think we
That's very British. Usually the weather hasn't been lovely.
can all agree, right, are really fucking boring. Like, seriously, right? Why do we do this to ourselves? Like, can we not all agree that this boring shit needs to stop? Like, I would love it if I was talking to some random person, right? And within 5 seconds of knowing me, rather than ask me the usual boring shit, they instead ask, hey, do you believe in aliens? Fucking yes, mate! Give me more of this kind of conversation.
Okay. No. I don't like when random people come up to me and want to have a conversation like that I don't have any reason to talk to personally, but okay.
Any day of the week. Now, that'd be really fucking interesting.
They
But
could
no,
just not
but
talk to
no.
me. That'd be okay.
This is seen as weird for some reason. This actually interesting conversation. And it makes no sense. Like, why would we do this to ourselves? Why would we make it that if someone comes up to you and instead of boring your tits off, right, he instead gives you some actually interesting conversation, we label him as a fucking...
What bothers me is when people say, how are you doing? And someone says, I'm fine. That's what's expected to be said. They don't really want an honest answer. That's the part about small talk that bothers me. And I can go on all day about that. They want a dishonest answer. If you say, I'm not feeling so great today, or I'm tired, or I'm having a really great day, they don't want that because that leads to a bigger, as he put it, more interesting conversation. They just want to be able to write you off and move on. You're supposed to say, I'm fine. You? And they're going to say, I'm fine. And they walk up. It's like, let's do lunch. They don't mean it. They just want to have a social interaction, get their points for it, and move on.
Weirdo, and take 3 steps back. Fucking why? Now listen, right? I think everyone knows that any conversation about the weather is by far the most boring, right? But
Seriously, never do this, even if you're a meteorologist.
Is asking someone, how you been? Or any one of its many alternate versions. Listen, there's no point asking this, right? Because you never know if you're getting a genuine answer. Listen, there's no point asking this, right? Because you never know if you're getting a genuine answer. Right? But another small talk question that I think... Why? Now listen, right? I think everyone knows that any conversation about the weather is by...
Okay, seriously, never do this. Even if you're a meteorologist, it's your job to tell people the weather. I would still recommend you don't talk about this. I'm going to go a different direction with that. Depending on where you live, it could be very relevant. Is the wind blowing the fire this direction? Is the hurricane heading our way? Are we having our afternoon storms? Are we having drought? There are things to talk about. Maybe you just don't live in a place where your weather is interesting. That could be what's happening.
By far the most boring, right? But another small talk question that I think needs to be manned, right, is asking someone, how you been? Or any one of its many alternate versions. Listen, there's no point asking this, right?
How many grams you want?
Know if you're getting a genuine answer. Because of the unspoken social contract that comes with asking someone how they've been. Which is that you have to say things are good no matter what. Listen, that's just how it goes, right? So just follow the rules, innit? Whether things are going great or going shit right now, you have to respond with, oh, great, thanks, what about you? It's so fake, right? But shut your mouth, just do it, alright?
Okay, that was my complaint. So we've hit my one complaint.
Seriously, since the dawn of time, right, in all of recorded civilization, no one has ever responded to this question with anything other than a great thanks, what about you? And
that's not true.
Does this. Seriously, when was the last time you actually told someone that things were going pretty shit right now after they asked you, how's things?
He hasn't met me. I wouldn't say quite like that, as I don't curse. But if it's not going great, I'm gonna say so. We're like, I might say it in a more neutral way because I don't think it's any of their business. But I will definitely not apply that it has been great. Reply it's been great if it hasn't been. I that just annoys me no end. Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm not
Thank you,
gonna
thank
lie
you.
just
That's
to make
great.
them
And you wouldn't
comfortable.
dream of it. Mate, my life could be falling apart at the seams, right? I could be $500,000 in debt to mafia loan sharks who are coming after me, right? I haven't slept in 6 days. I just found out I have breast cancer somehow. And worst of all, there's a massive spider in the corner of the room, and I have no idea how to get to it. Mate,
Broom.
I am at my breaking point.
Actually, you know how I like to kill the big spiders? They make those they used to call them one sweep. It's like a silicone broom thingy, brush thingy on a long pole. Oh man, if you want to crush one of those huntsman spiders that's up in a corner on the roof, ceiling, that's the way to go. You get a very satisfying smack, and it helps clean it up too. 10 out of 10. That is the way I would recommend to take those guys out. Every single freaking time. It's like squishing a mouse, I tell you what.
Fully on the verge of a mental breakdown that will measure 9.2 on the Richter scale, right? Mate, I might just kill someone because I'm about to snap. I am about to fucking lose it. But if someone comes up to me and asks me how I'm doing, right, my response is always going to be, I'm great, thanks. What about you?
That's your
And it's
problem.
the same with you too.
Nope. Not me.
Another question I get asked every now and then, right, especially from my barber, is, so you been anywhere nice on holiday lately? And mate,
What?
the answer is always no.
I don't think I've ever heard that. Ever. Not once. Is that a British thing? I don't know. I don't think we have any Brits in the chat typically, but you know, anybody chimes in, you can leave it on the bot on YouTube 5 years from now. Maybe I'll see it. Anyway, no. 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 I've never, ever heard someone say that to me. Even my friends in the UK, that's not how they talked. Where are you?
Thanks to you, Susan. But I don't know, man. Holidays are too stressful, mate. Like, I hate
Maybe
getting up early to
Australia?
go to the airport. I hate driving to the
But I've
airport.
had Australian
I hate
friends.
airports. And I hate being cramped in a small seat for 10 hours, usually next to some screaming baby. And when I get there, right, I hate being lost. Basically the entire time, right, from not having any internet on my phone. This is the one
Maps, dude. Maps. I've never traveled anywhere and counted on a phone.
place where I need
Pardon me.
internet access more than ever, right? And I don't have it.
Where are you
But
going that you don't have?
seriously, right? How did people even do holidays before the year 2000? Like shit, man. We're in the year 2024, mate. We're sending rockets into space and self-driving cars and shit, right? Why isn't there a solution to this?
There is.
That doesn't involve
It
me getting
costs
ripped off.
you money.
Well, now there is. Introducing Saily,
That's
new
the
worldwide
answer.
free SIM service that just launched from the same guys that made
This is
NordVPN.
all. Oh my
Click the link in
gosh.
the description to check it out, mate. Listen, mate, being in a foreign country without internet access on the go is a fucking nightmare. But with Saily, it's smooth sailing, mate. See what I did there? Thanks to Saily, right? Can't be beat. And it's not just for when you're on holiday, right? You can even do it in your home country too, in case you ever need some more data. So if any of you lot have holidays booked, right? Go to Saily. Another one that I have an issue with, right, is, so what kind of stuff are you into? You got any hobbies, mate? Because no, I don't have any hobbies. Like, some people have such random and interesting hobbies, right? Like,
YouTube isn't a hobby? I mean, I get it can be a career choice or a job, but it seems a little, hobby-rific to me. I mean, it's not their business. That's what I would tell them. I'd go, why are you asking?
horseback riding and Zumba and, I don't know, growing bonsai trees or something, right? But my favorite hobby is doing nothing. Like literally sitting around and doing as little as fucking possible. And I don't like being asked this, right? Because it makes me seem so boring. Like you don't have any hobbies. The fuck is wrong with you? Nothing. But now I feel like there is. So now I'll be feeling the need to make stuff up, right? Just to not seem so boring. So next time people ask me again, right? And I'll be like, hobbies? Oh yeah, mate.
I know he's doing this to be funny, but I don't feel like this is an everyone problem. I feel like this is a him problem. I mean, I would just say, why are you asking? Why do you need to know? Why do you want to know? But if they're a friend, I might just, I don't know, I've never had anybody walk up to me and say, what are your hobbies? Never once. Not once in my life. Never. I can't think of a single time. More like, they might say, so what kinds of things have you been up to? But to directly ask about hobbies, I think that's actually beyond small talk. That's not small talk. That is a full on, this person intends to talk for hours. Don't start that if you don't want to. You're in
yoga.
control.
Oh my god, I love yoga, mate. Ha! Can't stop me from doing the old yoga. I'm basically addicted to yoga, I am. But then I'm getting invited to do yoga with people, right? And that's how I'm spending my Saturday afternoons now. Doing fucking yoga. And I don't even like yoga. What the fuck? And similarly, just as bad, right? I hate being asked if I have any plans for or if I got up to much this weekend. Cause mate, no I didn't. Listen, right? I don't do anything.
Here's what you said. Finally managed to get some rest. Or, oh, I tried to do 3 weeks worth of work in one day because that's all I had. Either one works, and people don't want more detail than that. You don't need to tell them. If you want to be extra detailed, pick 1 or 2 key points. I mowed. I didn't mow because the mower wasn't working. I didn't mow because it rained. I spent it in the chicken coop. There's all kinds of things you can say that are just basically not your business, but I'll give you a sentence so you feel satisfied that you had this interaction.
Ever.
And they're true.
I haven't done anything with my weekend since June of 2020, I think it was, and I regretted it. I enjoy not having plans and basically doing nothing, mate. That's how I unwind. But saying this weekend after weekend after fucking weekend, right, makes me feel like the most boring man on earth. Like, I've had people ask me this before, right, and I tell them that I did nothing this weekend.
Be like, I like my chill time, man. You? And make it about them. That's what you do. I know he's saying it to be funny, but gosh.
And they get this disappointed look on their face, right? Because I don't have an interesting story to tell them. Listen, mate, what do you think I am? I'm a normal-ass, boring adult male. The biggest highlight of my weekend was I washed the dishes, man. What do you want me to do? But I guess I'll go to a rave and get arrested or something next weekend, right? Just to please you, shall I? Twat. This is why we're all so disconnected as a society. No one wants to talk to anyone, right? Because all anyone ever talks about is some fucking boring shit. Approach you at the bus stop and be like, hey buddy, how's your day going? Lovely weather. Shut your mouth, mate. I don't care about the fucking weather. Mind your business. But if it was widely seen as acceptable to come up
Apparently
to
we're not
say,
even
hey,
pretending
buddy,
to beep the
how's
F-bombs
your day
now.
going? Or if someone came up to me and said, fucking hell, mate, I just did some LSD yesterday. You want to hear what happened? I'd want to talk to fucking everyone. But no, mate.
If it's a stranger, they would say interesting mushrooms. They would not say LSD.
Which is fucking lame. Seriously, right? Whoever invented this dipshit idea needs to be shot. And if they're dead already, right? They need to be revived and brought back from the dead just so they can be shot. Prick. Mate, there's not a single person on earth who enjoys small talk, right? So why the fuck do we still do it universally? Well, I'll say enough is enough, right? And small talk needs to be cancelled. So fuck your small talk asking me how my day's been or how the fucking weather is, right? I don't want to hear your beta small talk. I want to hear if you think aliens exist, how the pyramids were made, whether God actually exists, if you think a sphere has one side or an infinite number of sides. I want to hear if you think drugs should be legalized or if you've ever done
Why God created mosquitoes is a good one. It's a fun one.
SD or DMT. I want to hear your dreams and aspirations, your life's regrets, your loves in life, your hates in life. Let's call an end to the days of small talk, right? And let's talk big from now on, mate. Or we
The thing is, anybody who feels that way about just a casual conversational interaction does not really want to talk about all the intimate details of their lives in public. Nope. They just want to not talk.
can just keep talking about the fucking weather. Your call, society.
Kitty, yes, they do. What do you mean? No, if you're in the grocery store line and you're going to see somebody for 45 seconds and they will talk about, usually be like the vegetables on the thing or whatever. Oh, have you tried that brand? It'll be relevant, conversational. You move on with your life. You never see them again. And you're perfectly happy with that interaction. I don't know. But you got your video, Kenny. You missed it. I tried to wait for you. Thing is, you chose to spend 40 seconds. No, you didn't. You're stuck in line. You're stuck in line waiting for your turn with the cashier. Or the cash register if you're a self-checkout kind of person. I prefer to have a cashier unless I'm going to have a discount for taking out the groceries for myself because I am that rotten, I guess. If you're going to charge me the same either way, then I'm going to have somebody who knows how to flip to check out the stupid groceries so I don't have to keep asking someone to walk over and help me find something. Wait for me, never do that again. No, I was waiting for you on this video because maybe it was Tomas. One of you guys sent this. Who sent this to me? I'd have to look back in Discord. All right. So we started with this one. Now, it's time for the main course. Oh, no. I'll do another appetizer first.
Whether it's your first time at Waffle House or you've been more
We'll start with the funny. What idiot made you watch that is stupid. I don't know. Somebody did. All right, let's go.
times than you can remember, because most of those occasions happened after midnight. Here's a helpful refresher on the 10 Commandments of Waffle House.
This is very important. Very important commandments for the Waffle House.
Number 1, thou shalt not murder is, a commandment everywhere, but it should be reminded to Waffle House customers between the hours of 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. And if you ain't got a clue what I'm talking about, just go ahead and Google employee throws chair.
Blasphemy.
Don't type in Waffle House, just that. You'll see. Number 2, thou shalt look for the smoke. Just like
We're going to look at that later. Blasphemy. This is not blasphemy.
any good barbecue joint, you should smell the smoke before you see the restaurant. But instead of sniffing the sweet smells of smoked meats, you should be sniffing something like Pall Malls coming from the line cook out front of the restaurant. And the more angry he looks that you just pulled up, the better the food. Number 3, thou shalt not complain. If you happen to notice that something with your order was not cooked right, yes, it was. Waffle House, if it was cooked,
it's right.
Number 4, honor thy jukebox etiquette.
And everything's sticky. This is not where you go for a good clean time. This is where you go when you're exhausted and tired and they're open and you can safely generally bring your family, but if you're at the wrong hours, you got drunks there if you're in town. But mostly in the country, it's pretty safe, or along the highways.
Waffle House is the only restaurant in the world where the music playlist can go from Loretta Lynn to Ludacris to Linkin Park, and nobody in there is going to bat an eye.
Nope.
There's only one rule when it comes to the jukebox, and that is do not play the same song on repeat.
That is right.
You are not John Mulaney. Plus, the most stressed out
they will unplug it.
Waffle House servers reserves the right to shut that down, either by unplugging the jukebox or sticking your face right through it.
Yep.
And I've seen it happen. Commandment number 5, thou shalt wait thy dadgum turn. There will occasionally be times where every seat in the Waffle House is taken, so you must wait. But this is a restaurant that does not have a hostess or a wait list app or those little pagers, because God knows half the customers would have already stripped the copper right out of them. When
This
the
is true.
Wallo is at full capacity, it is up to the customers to remember who is next. I fully believe that this is a test to determine
And they better remember correctly, or there will be a problem.
how well society can function without structure and order. And wouldn't you know it, there's always one goober that screws it up. It's real simple, y'all. Just take a look around at the other people waiting on a table. Were they here before you? Then you are not in front of them, because that's not how lines work.
That's
when every other
right.
person that's waiting on a table came after you, then it's your turn. Just wait for the next.
Kitty, is the video loud for you? I feel like for some reason I'm just gonna turn my headphones down. But if it's loud for you, let me know.
Next clean table. Let me repeat that. The next clean table.
Yep.
You don't go sit down at a dirty table. Okay? Do you go sit on a toilet that's already full? Don't answer that, actually, because if you go to the bathroom at the Waffle House,
Yeah,
you're
don't.
out.
You
Now,
go
should
behind the
you
Waffle
have
House if you're desperate.
multiple seating options, just remember that place. Counter is for shooting the breeze.
Yep.
Booths are for leaving with ease. Booths are precious real estate in the House of Waffle. So if you came there to chat with a friend for hours, then sit at the counter. Or, just do like everybody else in the South does when they want to catch up with long-lost friends.
Walmart parking lot?
Stand in the middle of the aisle at Walmart.
Yeah.
Commandment number 7. If the Waffle House is closed, thou shalt go. Now, somewhere safe, like a shelter. If you, for some reason, stumble up to a Waffle House and notice that it's closed and the windows are boarded up and you have no idea.
I have seen them serving out of their parking lot with the building gone. They are not kidding about this.
Why? Then I strongly suggest you get the hell out of there. Waffle Houses only shut down for one of the 3 H's. Hurricanes, health inspectors, and hell freezing over. Oh, and speaking of health inspectors, commandment number 8. Thou shalt just ignore that health score.
Yep.
Don't even look at it. Normal sanitation rules
Don't go
apply
in
here.
if you are
couldn't tell
caring
yet,
about that.
Waffle House is not a normal restaurant. The floors are sticky for your safety, and any discoloration on the walls is not filth. That's just seasoning, because the Waffle House is like a cast iron skillet, and the more seasoned it is, the better the food's gonna taste. I probably, if you have an open wound, I would cover or smother that before you walk in there. Commandment number 9, thou shalt stack thy plates. Your Waffle House server didn't randomly decide one day that they want the All-Star Special to come on 14 separate plates, okay? They don't love washing dishes, but that's just the way it is. I don't have a joke for this one. I just really hate how that works, and I wish they'd stop doing it. But I know it's not your fault, Waffle House server, so please don't hurt me. And finally, commandment number 10, thou shalt tip generously. Okay? Waffle House employees are the glue that holds the South together, so you should support the thin yellow line. Because if we ever lose them, we'll be just like the Yankees. And those Waffle Houses turn into Skyline Chili's. And then, might as well be in hell.
Sorry. Okay, that was the funny.
It's time to ruin my career. I've ranked a lot of things on this here internet, and I know.
All right. So what I was gonna do, I guess it doesn't matter.
Okay, I'm just going to be honest with you. I actually debated on which channel I was going to upload this video on because on one hand, we're going over a business and the business model that it has.
This is the history of the Waffle House. I thought this was such a cool theme and everybody was so excited and nobody showed up except you, Kenny. So guess what? You get a show just for you. Just for you. All right, here we go.
But on the other hand, this restaurant is basically the Roman Colosseum of the South, and I'm pretty sure if you eat there enough, you actually get a deployment patch from the US military. Regardless, I wore my schnazziest tank top for the occasion.
There you go.
Today we're talking about Waffle House. Okay, just to be completely clear with everybody, I was pretty sure I was not going to get caught off guard because Waffle House is already absolutely crazy. I started looking into it and then found out that Waffle House is somehow connected to the Manhattan Project from World War II. So,
Life is fun. All right. Kenny, are you still there? You doing, pardon me, you doing okay? All right.
they they managed to actually surprise me, and we're going to get to it right after a word from our sponsor. Yeah, babe, what's up?
Hey, I need a boombox.
Okay, I can go get you one.
Perfect.
All right, I'll go get it now. Love you.
Love you.
All right, bye.
1 hour later.
Where's that boombox that I asked for?
Oh, it's right here. I got it for you.
What is this?
The boombox.
No, I wanted something to play music with.
Oh, that kind of boombox. Yeah, I got this instead.
Okay, we'll go to the store and get me a boombox so I can listen to music.
Can I keep this one still?
I don't care.
This video is brought to you by Delete Me, okay? Super simple business model. You give them money, they turn around and they make sure that online data brokers are not selling your personal information online. Okay, here's it, and stop selling that information. So when you buy Delete Me, you're not Waffle House. Our story begins with a gentleman by the name of Tom that you haven't even gotten yet. So if you want to give Delete Me a try, there's going to be a link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video. All right, Waffle House. Our story begins with a gentleman by the name of Tom Forkner. This man graduated.
He does have fun commercials. I like that his wife is doing them with him now.
From law school at 23 years old, passed the bar, and immediately gets drafted in 1940 in the days leading up to World War II. Because he graduated from college, he's presented with two different options. He can A, go straight into officer training, and that's a 3-year commitment, or he can just be a normal draftee and go in as an enlisted soldier, and that is a 1-year commitment. Now you gotta remember, at this point in time, like 1940, while World War II is currently going on, America's not involved yet. The attack on Pearl Harbor has not happened, and prior to the attack on Pearl Harbor, the American people did not want to go to war. Because of that,
That's
Tom
right.
Forkner figures, hey, we're not actually going off to war. I don't want to waste 3 years of my time just being in the military, not actually, you know, fighting a war or whatever.
Hi, yo girl, how you doing? I'm fine. I'm doing well, Tomas. I'm glad that you're doing well as well. I talked about saying you're fine earlier. You missed it. Woohoo!
So he chooses to be a draftee. Goes into the military as an enlisted soldier, E1 private. From there, goes off to basic training. As soon as he gets through basic training, the attack on Pearl Harbor ends up happening. America enters the war. He immediately opts to go into OCS training and commits for 3 years. After he completes the officer training course, he actually gets slotted to be a counterintelligence officer where he does, and I quote, a lot of top secret stuff.
You see, my identity must remain mysterious and my mission secret. I cannot reveal it to you.
You can actually tell in the interviews that he gave later on in his life, like in his 70s, 80s, and 90s, that he's still not sure what he is and what he isn't allowed to talk about. But he did end up telling us that basically it was his job to try to sneak onto military bases, not as military personnel. So he would basically disguise himself as like a painter or a carpenter or whatever and try to infiltrate a U.S. military base to expose weaknesses within the system to help counteract enemy spies. So
What a fun job. Unless you get shot doing your job.
he does that for a couple of years, and then one day he ends up getting orders like, hey, you're going to Knoxville, Tennessee. And he's like, okay, for what? And they're like, don't fucking worry about it, just show up. So he shows up in Tennessee and he's given his orders, and those orders, I'm paraphrasing here, but they're essentially, hey, here's your partner. You two are gonna hop in that truck and you are gonna drive it from Knoxville, Tennessee to Los Alamos, New Mexico. You guys are gonna dress in plain clothes. You're not gonna look at what's inside the truck. You're not gonna talk about what's inside the truck. You're gonna take this map and take that exact route. This route avoids every major city and every major highway. You are gonna drive straight there, 53 hours straight, taking turns sleeping in the passenger seat and not stopping for any reason whatsoever. And he does this for the next year and a half, pretty much non-stop. And then like 20, 30 years after the fact, he finds out that he was actually hauling the majority of the enriched uranium for all of the nuclear testing and the building of nuclear weapons. Which, as we all know, brings about the end of World War II, at which point he gets out of the military, moves back home to Atlanta, Georgia, starts helping his dad out.
I love how he wasn't knowing at the time. Ugh. All right. He certainly wouldn't acknowledge knowing at the time, that's for freaking sure.
With his real estate agency. Now he does that for about 10 years, and during this time he ends up selling the house right next door to his to another guy by the name of Joe Rogers, and they pretty much become best friends. Joe Rogers was also an Army veteran. He was actually a pilot that flew B-24s in World War II. When Joe got back home after the war, he did not want to go off to college, so he actually just took the first job that he was offered, being a short order cook at a now defunct restaurant chain known as Toddle House. He worked his way up, becoming a restaurant manager, then eventually becoming a regional manager. And then one day his neighbor and best friend, Tom Forkner, real estate agent, always looking for the next investment, comes to him and is like, hey, I'm thinking about opening up my own restaurant. I can get the real estate deal going on that.
We're getting to the Waffle House, I promise. Yep.
side. I just wanted to know, like, if I opened up and bought a franchise of Toddle House, would you be willing to run it for me? Now, at this point, it's like 1954, 1955. Joe Rogers has a ton of experience inside the restaurant industry, and he basically tells his best friend, like, hey, don't open a Toddle House. You should start your own thing. Toddle House's business model isn't that great. If you start your own restaurant, I will help you run it. He then goes off on vacation with his family, and by the time he comes back, Tom Faulkner has already bought the real estate and comes to Rogers and is like, cool, what's the business we're starting?
Where's Pancake's house? What? We stop at Pancake's house.
And within the span of like 6 months, the very first of what is now the legendary restaurant chain of Waffle House opens.
Good
and Waffle
food
House is
fast.
legendary, probably for all the wrong reasons. I mean, even if you've never been to a Waffle House, you've heard about Waffle House because, well, I mean, Kid Rock got in a fight there. You've got Haley Booth, the viral Waffle House cook known as the last chairbender.
Yep.
There's entire
You know, she lost her job for that. 2 Waffle House videos is diabolical evil. Diabolical. Ooh, diabolical. I have a third. I actually have 4 lined up. I said this was a Waffle House themed evening, and they're all truly different from the other. Well, 2 of them are comedy, but anyway. Moving on.
subreddits and YouTube channels
Diabolical.
exclusively dedicated to all the fights that break out at Waffle House. I remember the first time I went to a Waffle House. I stretched first, I grabbed a GoPro, I was ready to yell World Star. Nothing exciting happened. I just had delicious breakfast at like 3 o'clock in the morning, which is probably 99% of people's experiences because despite all of the negative PR, Waffle House makes a ton of money and has an incredible business model. Okay, Waffle House had about $1.4 billion in
It is
revenue
good
last year,
food
which is about
fast, period.
$650,000
Nothing
per
fancy.
location. And when you take into consideration that each Waffle House is absolutely tiny, that's really impressive. Out of their 2,100 tiny Waffle House locations, their yearly stats are 58 million cups of coffee, 124 million waffles, 153 million servings of hash browns, 272 million eggs, which is about...
I'm going to say their coffee's mid at best. It'll keep you moving if you just really want some coffee, but you probably at least want some sugar in that stuff. This is not coffee that is... This is not top shelf coffee, but it'll do the job. And they'll make it fresh if you want it.
And 85 million strips of bacon. Yes, I did the math. That is about 8,000 miles worth of bacon.
Wow.
What you just heard was, give me a lot of bacon and eggs. What I said was, give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
So Waffle House is obviously doing something right.
You,
What
sweet
exactly
coffee.
are they doing? Well, it all comes down to their business.
No. I actually don't like a lot of sugar in my coffee. I'm not fond of sweet coffee. No. Their coffee tends to be that bitter. And when you have coffee that can get up and walk out on its own, it does benefit from a little bit of sugar to offset. Also a little, like a pinch of salt can do it too, but just something. It's something. It's not drink it straight coffee. And I love straight coffee. I do.
Model and their branding. Now, with the Waffle House branding, all the negative PR about fights always breaking out.
Although I
Waffle
have
House,
drunk their
in a way,
coffee
has
straight
actually
too.
helped them out a ton because Waffle House,
I
by and large,
don't
is
eat there
pretty
very
much
often.
A regional chain. It's primarily down in the South. Yet, Waffle House has become a household name pretty much everywhere in America. You could have never even.
She adds got sauce to that coffee. Coffee can be awful hit. I've never put hot sauce in my coffee. I don't think. Not on purpose. I've had it like on a spoon and stirred it in and realized that there was like stirring the coffee and that there was hot sauce on the spoon. It's not bad. It's actually not. A little bit of cayenne in coffee can be quite nice. Or with cocoa. Ooh, that's good. That's good. But, no.
Seen a Waffle House and you already know
I knew
Waffle
it.
House is open 365 days a year, 24 hours a
I
day.
never add it
and
to
they
add
serve
it.
breakfast. Why do you know they serve breakfast? Because their name is
It's
fucking
Waffle House.
I mean, look at this sign. You're driving down the road, you see that, you know everything you need to know. They sell breakfast. The end. Do that
Yep.
with another breakfast place. If you're not from there and you don't know what a Denny's or a Perkins or an IHOP is, you have no idea. It's just a restaurant, maybe. Waffle House, they're selling waffles, which means there's like a 99% chance they sell other breakfast food. Fucking sold. I'm in. So
Yep.
already, the branding is absolutely incredible, but here's the true genius of it. Why did they call it Waffle House? Why didn't they call it Breakfast House or Bacon House or Hash Brown House? It's because waffles had the highest profit margin. I cannot stress to you enough how absolutely genius that is.
I mean, think about it. Think of how much griddle space you need for pancakes and stuff. Whereas the waffle makers, they just have them in a whole line and they just pour it in one after another and they do it and then they flip it and boom, that food is ready to go. I know Denny's, not Waffle. Oh, Denny's? Poor Tomas. They're not nice. Maybe they're nice out there. I don't know.
Right? Because you don't need to sell breakfast, all right? Everybody's already in on breakfast, okay? I could be blackout drunk at 4 in the morning, and you could ask me, hey, do you want breakfast? I'm coming up like the Undertaker every single time.
Yep.
And then you go, the only thing open right now is Waffle House, okay? I was already sold on breakfast from the get-go, but because Waffle House is where we're going, guess what I'm getting? A motherfucking waffle.
You both know Denny's, but not Waffle House, except presumably from YouTube. Here is nice. I guess it depends on what you have to compare it to. I mean, when I was little, we would go to Denny's sometimes, and it was nice. It's kind of on par with IHOP. Our Denny's are not nice. Hopefully they're really nice there.
Awful, and they're making more money.
You say
It
they
makes
are,
sense
so
that
they
Tom
are.
Faulkner was a counterintelligence officer because the man literally said 2 words and is already subconsciously
Like, I seriously went one time, one of my friends was like, we have to meet at the Denny's because they're going to not charge me to have a whole group be there, and we just have to eat. I get there, the food costs twice as much as it should have, and then I ask, I'm like, I just want to keep it simple. Okay, I'll get grits. There was nothing gritty about those grits, and they were gray and off color, and they tasted like old water. No amount of butter and pepper could fix them. It doesn't leave the best impression, but I'm sure they have things that are lovely.
tricked you into ordering the most expensive thing on the menu that makes him the most money. So the branding of Waffle House is both simple and brilliant, and the rest of the business model matches that to a T. Okay, all Waffle Houses are like virtually identical. They're very small. They only seat like 30 people, and you can actually see the cook making you your food. Now, at a glance, you're just like, oh, they're just going for that like 1950s drive-through type of a vibe, which
Bam,
they
bam,
are,
bam.
but there's way more to it than that. Because the restaurant is so small, the kitchen never has the opportunity to get bogged down, meaning that they're moving tables very, very quickly. So instead of having one kitchen and 100 customers, you've got one kitchen and 30 customers, and you can just turn those tables over 3 times faster, which pretty much guarantees that every
The
customer
G
is
in
gonna get
grits
exactly
stands
what
for
they want.
great.
They're not
No.
going in there for 5-star dining. They're going in there because
No,
they're hungry and they want breakfast.
no.
And now they're going to get breakfast really quick in a small setting that doesn't feel like a packed restaurant where they have to wait in line to be seated. And I know what you're thinking. What if one Waffle House just reaches its maximum capacity, right? What if it's just completely full with
How is Tomas supposed to work at a Waffle House when there are none near him? Although they do pay really good. I tell you what, I think their starting pay, they try to keep several dollars above minimum wage. And then they also have instant benefits. So I think within 1 month you have healthcare, you have retirement funds, you have all kinds of things you can build up. Which is why between that and the tips, make his own business, Tomas's house. That's why people end up being really loyal to the Waffle House, because even though it seems like a really, I mean, it's hard work, it's hot work, but they do have a policy of treating their customers right. Best item, beep. Oh gosh.
line out the door 24/7 every day of the year. Waffle House surely would build a bigger Waffle House, right? No.
Nope.
We're going to take the same parking lot, and right next to that first Waffle
Yes,
House,
I have
we're gonna
seen
build
this.
a second fucking Waffle House, okay? The plan is working.
So I have seen that so many times. I'll be like, what were they thinking?
And if it's not broke, don't fix it. Which is one of those things that seems dumb, but is actually brilliant. So obviously, Obviously, speed is key to this business model, and they've done themselves a big favor with their menu because their menu is overwhelmingly simple, okay? It's literally one side of one piece of paper. Okay, the entire menu is...
We used to have a relative that we would visit, and they liked to eat at the Waffle House every time we visited them. This was many, many years ago when we only had Artie, and there was not yet Hedge or Brobot. And there were literally on a street 3 Waffle Houses in a row. And there was the one that everybody went to, and the one that nobody went to hardly at all, and the one that everybody went to when the first one was full. It was hilarious because the one had a manager nobody liked, so they didn't go there till they had no other choice. Insane.
Comprised of like 10 things. They have waffles, sausage, bacon, ham, eggs, toast, biscuits, gravy, butter, and syrup. Guess how many flavors of syrup they have? One. It's fucking
2
syrup-flavored syrup. The
2.
entire...
Not true. They always have maple syrup if you ask. Real maple syrup, but you gotta ask and you gotta pay an extra $1. And they'll give you a little jar.
Menu is simple, exactly how it's supposed to be. Oh, sorry, they have hash browns too. Sorry, 11 things, not 10. Anyways, moving on. Another reason they do so good is they actually might be the best fast food chain when it comes to taking care of their employees.
At least they
pay
used
higher
to.
than average. They have super flexible schedules, and they're one of, if not the only fast food chain that actually offers all their employees healthcare and dental insurance.
Yep.
And I know what you're thinking. You're like, okay, but really, how good are they actually treating the Waffle House employees? I got the one stat that's everything you need to know, okay? Waffle House treats their employees so well that employees are willing to commute into a natural disaster to work at a different Waffle House when the occasion arises.
Yep.
Yeah, Waffle House is open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and they fucking mean it, okay? Whenever there's like a hurricane coming...
Maybe. So it's Canada approved best item meat. I don't know if they always have it, and I probably haven't been in a Waffle House in easily 20 years, maybe more. But, well, I take that back because Robot wanted to taste Waffle House after all these videos started coming out about it. So I did go in and get him some for takeout like a year and a half ago or so. I should have been a Waffle House, not a paramedic. You said there's none where you are. But when we were going, they had their pecan waffles could optionally come with maple syrup. So it should be Canada approved. Yes, I think so. But when little Hedge turned out to be celiac, that made a place of gluten. It's a Waffle House and a house of gluten. Not a great place to take a little kid. So we really just got out of the habit of going at all and never went to restaurants much. I always made my own food.
Or some type of impending natural disaster, Waffle House organizes what they call a jump team, a bunch of Waffle House employees from a different region that's going to be unaffected because they know that their local employees are going to be busy taking care of their own family and their own houses during a hurricane. So they bring in teams from outside the region to work inside of a natural fucking disaster, and they're willing to do it.
I never said thank you.
And it is, they really do that. And it is actually the most amazing and touching thing. And if you can't find food, if you can't find water, if you can't find any of those things, or you just don't have power, you can go to a Waffle House. If nothing else is operational, they will be operational, and they will be able to operate with cash, and you can get food. And I've even known of them saying, this disaster's so bad, it's all free, and they just start feeding people. They are amazing, and they'll feed first responders. I'll give them that. I think that's why people are so loyal to them, because when nothing works, they're there. And they're dirty, they're small, they're simple, but they always work, and it's basic stuff. There's not a lot of ways to make an egg not an egg, you know?
And you'll never have to.
Okay, McDonald's can barely get their employees to show up on a good day, and Waffle House has employees volunteering to commute into a fucking hurricane to make breakfast.
Yep.
And this is the most impressive part of the business because Waffle House has the best logistics and preparedness of any company I've ever seen ever. The only entity that beats them in logistical capacity is the United States military. Waffle House is literally ready for absolutely anything. Every single Waffle House has the playbook inside of it that details exactly how the staff is supposed to handle literally any type of emergency or situation that could possibly arise. And if for some reason the situation comes across that isn't in that playbook, after it happens, they immediately add it to the playbook. It covers tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, a hole in the roof from a branch falling, a car driving into the restaurant. You can drive a car into Waffle House and they're still planning on staying open. The playbook even has detailed plans for every type of disaster for what the local employees, while they're not working, should go home and do to make sure that their house and their family are safe as well. Every single Waffle House has a backup generator. The stovetop, it runs on propane, and they have a bunch of extra propane tanks on hand. Flashlights, candles, batteries, backup water. They have a special menu of what they're able to serve when the water is out and they're running on reserve.
And they print out a bunch right before so they are ready to share it. They got it all covered. They really do.
Water. When a Waffle House location is going to be in a disaster area, that Waffle House stocks up on extra food, and then all of the neighboring locations in the unaffected area also stock up and stage food there to get them more food when they need it. If Waffle House is a standing structure, those motherfuckers are serving breakfast come hell or high water.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving!
Waffle House is so good at this that FEMA uses them to gauge how bad natural disasters really are. Yes, FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, literally uses the Waffle House Index to gauge how bad a disaster is.
It's not just that. When we are supposed to evacuate, if the Waffle House Index is in accord, they will make sure that the public is aware of this, and the public will be more likely to actually evacuate, and the ones who stay behind will just start writing their names on their arms and legs in marker, just in case.
Okay, green, Waffle House is running as normal. Yellow, Waffle House is using
not immediately, but you know, they're ready.
Menu. Red, Waffle House is closed. People are probably already fucking dead by that point. Waffle House is literally the Terminator of the fast food industry, okay? The fact that the federal government, probably the most powerful entity on the planet, maybe ever, looks at a chain of restaurants and is like, man, if...
How many waffles in my area? They don't tend to be as sprinkled around Florida. We tend to not have as many, but I mean, probably off the top of my head, I'd have to drive to any of them, but I can probably think of 3 or 4 off the top of my head. But I don't go looking for them. Just saying. And I mean, you gotta understand, just to get to like a town, I'm driving a minimum of easily 30 minutes. So, I mean, let's just say I don't go home without gas, right? My car all gassed up.
Waffle House is closed, we need to mobilize the National Guard is fucking crazy. Now, maybe you guys are thinking the same thing I was at this point in my research, and I'm like, man, I need to invest in this company. I need to see if I can open up my own Waffle House franchise. This company's awesome. And this is where the bad news comes in. I mean, technically you can franchise a Waffle House, but most of us probably can't. The company is privately owned. It's not on the stock market. It's still owned by the families of the original 2 founders. And while they do allow franchises, they are super picky about who they let buy in to have a franchise, and they make it very, very expensive to buy in to make sure this is actually what you want. And while that is unfortunate, I think it's actually kind of awesome. It's a company that actually has morals and cares about their image more than they care about next quarter's profits, okay? It's a company that has committed themselves to making breakfast under any circumstances, and they're gonna see that through till the very end, even though they could probably make way more money by just selling franchises and letting whoever the fuck throw up a Waffle House. And now for the fairy tale ending, Joe and Tom worked together as best friends for 62 years to build Waffle House into what it is today. They both passed away at the ages of 97 and 98, and now Waffle House and their legacy lives on as that company is still being operated by their kids, and that is the American dream. Get together with one of your best friends, pick a goal, even if it's something as simple as serving breakfast to people, and never let anything get in between you and achieving your goal, even hurricanes and floods and natural disasters, apparently. Work with your best buddy for 62 years straight, and then die together and hand it off to your kids. In conclusion, Waffle House is the most American company ever, and that's why I love it. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out.
And then
Alright, so it is Noah's birthday. It's currently almost...
what? Mobby? Don't be getting weird, Tomas. Don't be getting weird. Okay, so this is a almost 3 a.m. food tasting by some Brits who've been tricked into coming to try Waffle House at the quote-unquote correct time of day. So this should give you some insight.
3 a.m. Noah has been showing us a good time, and we're now come to Waffle House, which is apparently where you come after a night out in the South. Alrighty.
Or when you've been hunting. Or when you're about to be hunting.
Come on in, get cozy. Oh, there we go. Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
We finally made it to Waffle House at 3 in the morning.
Yes.
True Southern delicacies.
We almost came here for breakfast, but one of my friends from Atlanta told me, you need to come here after a drink or two.
Absolutely.
In
We've
the
had
evening.
one or two, not too many.
Celebrating your birthday.
Absolutely. What a wonderful evening.
And this is the right way to do Waffle House?
100%. And you can see the crew behind us. They're ready to rock and roll. They're super excited about cooking big, bold, beautiful flavors. That's all we can ask for.
Let's do it. What are we ordering?
Can we fire off a hash brown bowl? We would like the cheese.
Basically, they're going to order the whole menu. So if you ever wondered what's there, this is actually going to show you.
Steak with bacon and sausage gravy over the top. And we want a Super Bowl. So we'll do the All-Star. Can we do grits, raisin toast with butter, please? Pecan waffle, please. On the second All-Star, can we go
Two
with chocolate
All-Stars.
chip, hash browns? Let's do a triple order.
Oh, I forgot.
You're saying literally so many words that I don't understand.
Yeah, they have chocolate chip waffles. I forgot about that. All right, cool.
That's auctioneering. I'm speaking in code here. Oh my gosh, we're gonna hurt so bad.
Yep.
I'm supposed to leave at 5 in the morning. What time is it?
It's about
It's
5
about
in the morning. Okay.
You hear that sizzling? You hear that sizzling?
Yeah, I hear
That
it.
means
I hear
we're
it.
cooking it already.
Okay.
You
All
hear
right.
that? That's a beautiful
Yeah.
sound. Sizzle means flavor.
So this place is open 24 hours
24
a day,
hours a day.
365 days a year.
Because the Waffle House has dedicated staff. They always are very prideful. Like I said, it's a very southern company.
Oh.
I've never seen a finer thing in my life. I don't even know what the hell to do with this. Can I have some hot sauce and a
Yep. Some hot sauce and a gurney, please, ma'am. All right, we have an incoming ad break. Tomas, do you actually get ads? I think Kenny has said he does not.
gurney, please, ma'am? One gurney and a hot sauce, please.
After our barbecue meal, I didn't think I was ever going to be hungry again.
All that
I
alcohol.
am now starving. This is a giant mountain of
Look
food.
at this beautifulness.
What is this?
All right, so you have hash browns, eggs, steak, bacon.
Okay, that is one thing that's always kind of annoyed me is Waffle Houses always have Tabasco instead of crystal sauce. But if you have your own crystal sauce with you, they don't mind if you use it.
Sausage, sausage gravy. This is not a real thing. We just said this and then they made it. That's what I'm saying. It's not a real item. They don't do this. They're just assembled everything. It's like the Avenger Bowl to Waffle House. It's so hot again.
Wow, okay. You're just going all in.
Delicious.
All in. Is it not too hot?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Delicious.
Really?
You're gonna get burnt.
That is beautiful.
Sweet baby Jesus.
So hang on. Can you clarify for me? That is the hash brown, right?
Yes.
The potato.
And it's
The
crunchy,
potato.
Stringy bits.
Deliciousness. God, I'm gonna need help physically.
That has no right to be that good.
That is really good. It's honestly really, really
No,
good.
there's no, I would tell you if it sucked. Like, I'd be like, this is not as good as it should be. This is absolutely delicious.
That's ridiculous.
I've literally eaten Waffle House since I've been a fetus, and I've never seen a dish more big, bold, and beautiful than this thing. I mean, this is hella fresh.
Well, I've never had Waffle House before, and this is very good.
So this is comfort food, right?
Oh,
This
God.
is breakup food.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's night
It's
shift
3
food.
a.m. on the night of your birthday. Had a few drinks, you're out to party, you're going hard.
Just like walking, Jim, what's going on? Because Jim always works that night shift because that's the Saturday that you're always partying.
Okay.
He's always working that one.
Regular hours,
That's your
yeah.
order.
Fantastic.
Sit down, you get
Yep.
your coffee, $5, $6 for a plate of food, hang out for an hour, and then leave. And
Okay.
It's,
Yep.
it's not just drunk people food. Like, done right, Waffle House is pretty fantastic.
Doug, it will help
We
us
just stop.
polish
We
off.
just stop.
Move it away, move it away.
And just die.
I mean, it is basically like you did it up in your own kitchen. I mean, they're using eggs, they're using bacon, they're using basic stuff. Boom, 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 easy peasy. Their toast uses some freaking cheap, nasty white bread, but you know, you don't really go there for the toast, do you?
Delicious.
That was unreal.
Delicious.
That was unreal.
I mean, like I said, that's not a real dish. We just made that on putting all the meat on it. And then she just took it and just absolutely Michelangelo the Sistine
That's
Chapel
exactly
flavor.
what that was.
I'm glad to have y'all.
Well, we love
Thank
it.
you. Thank you for having us.
That food is
And if you're pleasant, they'll be pleasant because that makes their day so much easier. So wonderful.
absolutely, that's what I wanted.
You want it, we give it to you.
You're damn right you do it.
Nice,
Thanks out.
fresh, hard,
Deliciousness.
all out the door.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Oh, look at this.
Oh,
now we got the
wow.
Look at these low-fat sandwiches. I'm gonna hurt myself physically.
I feel like this is something that Tomas would like. From the things that you have described that you like to eat, like gas station pizza and stuff, I feel like this might just make you so happy, Tomas. I feel like it would.
I'm gonna.
Wait, what? Okay, what is going on? What is this?
This is no. Listen,
I
we
thought
have
we just
another
had a
round.
whole
No,
bowl of hash brown.
We have
Isn't-
another. No, we have another. We have this, and then we have the All Stars are coming.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
There we go.
my gosh.
That's ridiculous.
Oh my
This
goodness.
is Americana. This is a deliciousness, like pure deliciousness.
Let's do it, Josh.
Lightweight, not fatty. Oh, good one.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't really like waffles, but maybe. No, look, this is basically 2 burger patties with some cheese and some pickles and some other stuff. This is toasted beautifully on both sides before they assemble it. You got your hash browns. This is not waffles. They're showing that they have other food. If you don't like waffles, they got stuff for you. This is what I thought you might like from what you described liking before. That doesn't mean you would, hon. I'm not saying you like waffles. I was saying this sandwich.
Then you got this, which is just pure cheesesteak.
So is
Yep.
it just steak and cheese?
Yes.
Yep.
Pickles.
With bacon.
Oh my gosh.
And some
That
pickles if you
sandwich
want
was
'em.
Incredible, Noah. That was incredible.
This is delicious.
Yeah. You had a huge bite of that.
Oh wow! Look at Noah's hands.
That. Oh my.
Right?
Oh my gosh. That is unbelievable.
Physically, I'm not gonna be. I think I might have gout tomorrow.
I've got a question, Noah.
Hit me with it.
Olives have gardens, shakes have shacks, pizzas have huts, waffles have houses, cheesecakes have factories. Does any other food stuff have a residence?
Yeah, pita.
The pita what?
Pit.
Pita pit.
Pita pit.
I disowned the pickle. Well, the reason for the pickle is to take the edge off all the fat. You don't have to want the pickle. And that's why they put it to the side. Not everybody wants it. But you can put it in. You can also ask that it not be on your plate. But it is to cut the fat so that you don't have such a horrible time with your tummy later.
No, well, that's not a very good resonance.
No.
Sounds like you've been thinking about this question for a long time.
I have. That's all I've got, guys.
Really
That's
put
all
a
I've
lot
got.
into that.
Yeah.
You put a lot.
That's all I've got.
Like you put so much into that.
Yeah.
It's actually amazing how much effort you put into it. Like
Thanks,
you
man.
kept going. Like you just
Thank
kept
you.
going. Like
Yeah.
you just kept going. I was like, wow, he's just still going. Like I know where this is going, but like, when's he gonna stop?
We're now coming up on the item that lives in this house, the waffle.
The waffle. Is this the syrup?
No,
This. I thought that was coffee.
That was
No, that's pure diabetes.
jam.
That's
The
all
first one he
syrup.
picked up is the jam.
Pure sugar.
And that's maple syrup.
Wow,
It's not real, but it's like it's good enough for us.
Tell me when to stop, okay? Should I be pouring faster?
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
Wow. Oh my
Oh.
What have you done, Noah? What have you done?
For the record, people normally don't order quite that much. Unless they've been drinking. YOLO. You only live once, exactly. He's like, if you want to experience the Waffle House, I will show you all of it. Right now. But the menu is small enough, you can do that.
We're gonna die. We're gonna die. We're gonna die.
Wait, what?
How many more dishes are there?
That's it. All right.
That's it.
Okay.
Oh my
All right, here
gosh.
we go. Look, you
Wait,
see-
you're putting more syrup on the chocolate one as well.
Whoa. Okay.
Get in. I'm trying this one. Waffles.
Tomas is right.
Let's
YOLO.
do this. In Waffle House.
A one, a two.
Yes, it's going everywhere.
Wow. But where's all the butter? There should be more butter.
Pure diabetes.
Wow. That's very sweet.
So much sugar. So then you need to co-enact it with getting these cheesy eggs. You need to get
Yeah, the
cheese.
cheesy eggs are good.
Maple.
Okay.
What's
Oh,
this
and he
like?
got...
With the pecans.
Okay, he got the raisin cinnamon toast. That is slightly better than the regular thin white bread toast. But with the other flavors, the thin white bread toast, if you just really want toast, does the job. It carries the flavor of butter, but I'm not a big white bread fan, I'm gonna be honest.
Literally make this.
Pecan.
Sorry, pecan. Sorry, pecan.
I'm sorry.
Are you dipping that sausage in chocolate?
No,
Yes.
in the syrup.
Okay.
It's fake syrup.
The syrup for the sausage, yes.
That takes
the
me back
thin
to my
toaster.
childhood. These are grits. that look-
Sausage patty dipped in syrup.
Yeah,
Yes.
It takes me back to my
No,
childhood.
this.
Yes.
is really
Hi!
That pecan. That
Hi, Knight. I'm introducing them to the Waffle House. This is a Waffle House evening. Tomas is here. Kenny's here, but he seems to be going in and out of actively chatting. He's been having a little bit of a rough time of it, but he says, you know, he's good. He's just chatting a little slower, so we're here for him. What is that comment? Eat the thin toaster. He apparently, if you don't want to eat the toast, you should eat the toaster. I don't know.
You get
Here we
sweet
go.
and you get sweet and savory. I'm
Yeah.
physically just hurt. Apple butter.
That doesn't look
Alright.
like
Wait,
butter.
what's that? That's jam.
I'm not a fan of breakfast sausage, but if I was gonna have it, the only way is in syrup. I'm not gonna lie.
Apple butter. Try this.
That's not jam.
Enjoy this. Your life is forever gonna change.
Hang on. What's this bread?
Go for it.
Is that raisin bread?
Raisin bread. Is that the apple butter? Yep, the apple butter. Ooh, yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Isn't that delicious?
And they toast that with butter straight onto the.
This is like a hot cross bun loaf.
It is.
Yes,
like a hot
it rather
cross bun.
is.
Crossed with like a cinnamon bun.
Yep.
I think I prefer it without the apple jam.
I love
Or whatever.
No, 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 no.
What is that?
It needs the apple jam.
Hash
It's
browns stacked on top of each other with.
It's not apple jam. It's apple butter. I only eat if nothing else. That's fine. They have cheesy eggs. They have different kinds of hash browns. They're not pretending to be, you know, gourmet.
cheese and loads of onions.
You ordered that.
You did.
Dude, that's like literally like 9 orders.
Cheesy scrambled.
Cheesy
Yep.
scrambled eggs.
Yeah. I call apple butter apple goop.
Holy crap. This is okay.
American, like plastic American cheese.
Yes.
In scrambled
Melted
eggs.
into scrambled
Yes.
eggs.
That's crazy good. And
Yep.
You could do that at home.
Yep.
I honestly feel a little bit disgusted with myself. I shouldn't be enjoying this much.
And then you have grits. Let's see if these
Yep.
are
That looks horrible. That looks like a
Nah.
bowl of
These are
vomit.
terrible. Don't
That
eat
looks like a
these.
bowl
Don't
of
eat
vomit.
those.
Okay.
Terrible.
Oh wow. Okay.
Those are awful.
That's the first thing that you've said
That's
that
terrible.
you've
That's
disagreed
that's
with
unacceptable.
today.
That's terrible. Don't eat that. Whatever you do, don't eat that.
But he didn't even put the black pepper or anything on, so they had to be really bad for him to get rid of it before that. I meant, if nothing else, I like apple butter. I love apple butter. Apple butter, pumpkin butter, pear butter can be good. Oh. I am allergic to apple butter, but sometimes I get sick anyway because it's so worth it. I'll get that eczema. It's worth it.
Honestly, you won't eat that.
We're not gonna eat it. We're not gonna eat it.
Don't even try it.
Okay.
Just bacon.
Wait, so I think what I'm getting is that maybe we should try it.
No.
What I'm picking up from you.
These scrambled eggs, though, I'm just moving straight onwards. These scrambled eggs,
Crazy good.
what the hell?
Crazy, crazy
My
good.
head hurts so bad from the amount of fat and cholesterol that is being ingested right
Fat and sugar. Everything.
Allergic to apples? Yeah. It was a sad day when I found out. I kept getting all this eczema. They put me on an elimination diet, and everything was making me sad to not have all my normal food. So they kept saying, well, she can keep doing apples. And they weren't finding the problem. And then they're reintroducing everything. And the doctor goes, we got to take away the apples. And sure enough, all my eczema went away. So yeah, that's how they used to check when I was young. This puts you putting apples in chili in a new light. Oh yeah, did I mention that? I used to do a venison chili that way. Yeah. I can do them sometimes now. And like I can do apple cider vinegar always. However, I can't do them every day. And it took years and years of not having them to be able to have them at all. So I just only have them if I really, really want to enjoy them. The ones that set me off really bad are usually peaches. Yeah, I get such bad eczema from peaches. But otherwise, I don't have it at all. I just, tried that not long ago. Apples belong in chili, don't they? Anyway, yeah. I like a lot of fruits, but not all the fruits like me. All right, here we go. Speaking of which, the passion flowers are all blooming around here, so I might try and get a picture of one for y'all. Not sure I did it right, but it turned out pretty good. Well, what I did is I didn't have like a recipe. I just made homemade applesauce at the bottom, and then I browned all the meat, and then I combined it with the, started getting all the ingredients like you do for the onions and stuff, and then I added the applesauce back in, and I added the meat back, and boom. You need something. I don't know if there's a right way is my point, but I'm glad you enjoyed it.
We've eaten is just like, they just use a cheat key in cooking. Just add extra fat, extra sugar.
It's like if you ever ask yourself while cooking,
Maybe I shouldn't.
And then answer that question with,
nah, I will.
It's fine.
It's like, that's like an entire approach to cuisine.
Yes, correct.
This place is next level.
I'm still stuck on Kevin.
Kevin was a legend. I was absolutely vibing with Kevin.
I can tell.
They are
I got a
vibing
friend
on the
named
sugar.
Drew, and I got a friend named Gene, right?
Yeah.
And I have this circle of friends where every time we hear a song that has the words you and me put somewhere together, we'll say Drew and Gene, right?
No, knowing Gene.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Drew don't know how it feels
that's a good
to
one.
be Gene.
Yeah. Lovely to meet you, Kevin. That was fun.
I couldn't breathe most of the time. I was trying to squeeze. I was trying to literally get oxygen in.
You were kicking the back of my chair.
I couldn't breathe.
At the end of our Uber ride, Kevin actually subscribed to the channel. So, Kevin, if you're watching, put a comment.
Kevin, that's the craziest I've ever heard.
All
right. Well, this has been Waffle House.
It's been an absolute
I hate y'all.
storm of Waffle House. What do you mean?
carnage.
This was your idea.
Let's put that on the record.
Okay.
Not my idea. I was just saying, listen, if you're going to do this, I would be the man to go with because it'll be done right.
Noah, it has been a real experience meeting you today. I feel like we've bonded.
Yeah.
It's been special. This has been Waffle House. That is the greasiest high five I think I've ever had in my entire life.
It's the amount of animal byproduct from the toast. Look at this. There's nothing you can do about it. Nothing you can do about it. I can't hide from it.
I hope we get to see you again. Maybe
Of course you're going to see me again. I'm not
We
dying.
do live on the opposite side of the world.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
I love that.
You're
That's
literally
fantastic.
6 hours away from me. I'm driving to Florida, which is 8.5. Technically, you're closer than Florida.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Wow.
Well, then I guess in
They
a
must
very
be in
literal
Atlanta.
sense,
We'll see you jolly soon.
we'll see
Bye.
you soon.
Oh.
See you later, guys.
See you later.
Okay, so that was our third Waffle House offering of the evening. And then he had a second one that I was going to show y'all. I don't even know if y'all are liking this, but you know. This was
My
older.
name is Sensei Jimmy, and this is the Waffle House Dojo, aka the Waho Dojo.
This was after that lady with the chair incident, which I can try and find a clip of. If y'all want. And then we can figure out where to go from there. Not sure I did it right, but it turned. Yeah, you were talking about the chili. Okay.
Now, if you ain't from around here or you've never traveled the interstate in the South, you should know that Waffle House is about three things. Cooking waffles all the time, except when we're whooping ass. Now, if you thought working at Waffle House was just about cooking breakfast,
You're
well,
cool.
you'd be right about that.
Well, thank you. I thought this would make more sense after you saw people at the Waffle House. Because I don't know how to explain it.
Day shift. But at night, we got to keep our head on a swivel and our minds sharper than a knife. Oh, hold on. Actually, we got something on this one. I thought this was clean. I teach the night crew how to smother, cover, and chunk anybody who breaks the Waffle House code of conduct, which honestly is a very low bar. We just ask that you keep your pants on for at least half the meal.
Yep.
Now, like most martial arts, the way of the waffle is only to be used for self-defense
And I advise
against the highly
shoes.
intoxicated, or anybody who comes in between 12 a.m. and 4 a.m. Because honestly, if you're up that late, you're probably asking for it. There's a reason why those cowards at Cracker Barrel close at 8. You ain't never seen anybody fighting in them rocking chairs, have you? Fun fact, did you know that
Yes,
there
I
are
have.
3.5 million ways that you can eat our hash browns, which is half as many ways you can catch these hands.
I've seen people fighting over the rocket chairs. Ugh. It's insane. I'm not big. I used to like Cracker Barrel, but I haven't really liked them in a long time. I think they went down.
Now, before you can serve up an all-star smackdown, you Waffle Warriors must demonstrate knowledge of our world-famous Bacon's system. B stands for block. Literally anything. If a customer can pick it up, they will throw it. Believe me, some of them got some arms too. Oh, A stands for ask them, are they sure they want to do this? I mean, a hurricane can't shut down Waffle House. I'm pretty sure a pissed off lady named Candace who just shut down Senior Frogs ain't even gonna slow us down.
Nope.
That's right, Candace. I remember you, and you still aren't allowed in Waffle House store 542. C stands for coat the whole floor in syrup. That whole thing needs to be stickier than a Dollar Tree fly trap. Oh, stands for offer your condolences to any family or friends who might be nearby. Let them know this ain't an IHOP, okay? This is Waffle House, baby. We're like an oil stain on a comfort colored t-shirt. We ain't going nowhere. That's what's up. Where's my syrup? N stands for knock them in the next week. I mean, just start wailing on them. Let out all that frustration you've been up because you've been having to listen to the same 4 Morgan Wallen songs.
I like diner food, but I'm not sure I would like Waffle House. The thing is, it's nice. It's simple. It's basic. It's not generally my thing, but it has a place. And diner food is more very good, except that diner food would have more variety. You might have French fries at a diner. Might even get a poached egg or a burger.
Because the only people willing to download an app to use our fancy new jukebox are 20-something-year-old ladies who just love that man. I mean, I swear to God, he's just Jason Aldean with a cold. That's all he sounds like. Oh my gosh! And S stands for smoke break. And buddy,
Waffle House meat.
after a long night of serving up hash browns and haymakers, go ahead and grab whatever you got near you and light it up. I mean, customers gonna be all right in there for a few minutes by themselves, right? I mean, what they gonna do? Get up and make their own breakfast? Hell, that's why they're a Waffle House. They're too drunk to even try it.
They have done that.
Oh man, I gotta get a job. Hey, Geraldine, I'm coming back in there. Just hold your horses. Damn.
All right. So that was all the Waffle House videos I found for you, but we could look for the video they're all talking about. Yeah, I don't want to see it here. Here's the actual news.
All right, if you noticed Waffle House trending on Twitter this morning, ooh, this is why. Look at this. Here's the thing. You see how she blocked that chair? If you have ever been to a Waffle House.
She got fired for that, by the way, a year later, because they didn't like the attention. Everybody was like, wow, that's awesome. So I got dinosaurs and waffles in my feed. Boy, this is going to be interesting. So, I can look... What? That is really not fair. Everybody was upset when they found out. They didn't want to do it right away because everybody thought she was so awesome and how great she was that she diffused the situation. Nobody got hurt. But, yeah. She did get fired. I think there was probably more to it. It was a year later. It wasn't like that day, but they did cite that one of the reasons was the publicity. I don't remember all the details. I bet that would show it up. Here we go.
A video featuring a fight at a Waffle House in Texas went viral on Twitter and TikTok. The video showed a group of customers fighting with Waffle House employees, but it was the quick reflexes of one of the waitresses that really caught people's attention. Dubbed Waffle House Wendy, the waitress, whose real name is Haley, became a viral sensation as fan art and memes circulated online about her. Her impressive chair catch earned her nicknames like Waffle House Chair Girl and The Last Chairbender, and even inspired a GoFundMe page set up by sympathetic fans. The fight video, which was actually recorded a year earlier in 2021, sparked a range of reactions on social media. Haley eventually broke her silence on the incident, sharing her side of the story in a YouTube video. According to Haley, the viral attention the video received had consequences, as she was reportedly fired from Waffle House a year after the incident occurred. A video featuring...
Yep. I can't find the one with her interview for some reason, so she might have settled with him or something. That would be my guess. Whoa, what the heck?
Oh my God, bro!
I don't... I'm not trying to go through all those shorts. Help!
If you know
Help!
Waffle House trending.
Gotta get rid of some of that. Alright. So, now that we have some people, I thought that was fun. I don't have a lot more Waffle House style videos to pop up. That is a common thing I think they should give their employees. Pepper spray. It's not common. It's common in certain areas. And those are easy to avoid for the most part. But the employees are not supposed to engage in the fight with them. But I don't know that you have a choice when a chair is being thrown at you. My mom buys it. Pepper spray. Around here, people like bear spray. That'll do the job. But there are legal things about using that on people, so yeah. But I mean, if that's all you've got, it's self-defense, right? I mean, wouldn't they rather be bear sprayed than shot? That's right, less than shooting them. So depending on where you're going to be, I'm just going to say pepper spray, if you know how to deal with it, it's not great. It's not fun, but bear spray, yeah. That stuff's greasy. That's not going anywhere. Bear mace? I mean, I guess it could be called that. I've just never heard it called bear spray. So here's the thing. It doesn't have to be him, but the fat electrician has a whole bunch of like the restaurants. So like Aldi, Little Caesars is hilarious. The Little Caesars one. I haven't watched most of them just because I bet that's a playlist. Or is that on his other channel? Oh, let's see. Maybe it's the Fat Files? This is all his military stuff. So it's probably the Fat Files. He's not even fat. I mean, that's what he calls himself. Ooh, he has one. Okay, I know which one we should watch. Tomas has inspired this. Tomas, you are my captive audience. You have no choice. Like he has the Arts and Smuggling Hobby Lobby, the Christian craft store that got caught smuggling. How to be an electrician. This is the one I was going to show. If it is for bears, I would hope so. Yeah. This is the one we could show Tomas. It's how to be an electrician. He wants to know what to do. Gas station pizza, I haven't seen. I don't know anything. I know he's big on that movie. Bass Pro Shops, Coke, Little Caesars is hilarious. That's a pizza place. Taco Bell, Burger King, Waffle House. So he has a bunch of Arizona tea, Starbucks. So he'll like do the history of. There's Chick-fil-A, Aldi's, Liquid Death, the water company. Here we go, Tomas. Let's see if you want to watch this one. I don't know that we all need to learn how to be an electrician, but you know, you were looking for career advice.
It's always fun starting a YouTube video when you just know it's going to upset a lot of people.
You guys want to be upset? Kenny likes to be upset. I think this is for him.
We're talking about how to become an electrician and why any community college or tech school or trade school that tries to get you to go to their program for 2 years to get a certificate or a diploma so that you can become an electrician is more or less a scam.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
And just so we're clear, I am a journeyman electrician. I have been for the past 5 years. The 5 years before that, I was a helper and an apprentice. So I've been doing this.
I'm upset because of Night. But how do you feel about Ashes and Roses? How do you feel about that, Kenny?
For 10 years. Since starting this whole YouTube thing I got going on, I've gotten thousands of emails from high school kids that want to figure out how to...
Cool beans. I'm glad that you're okay with those. I will say this, depending on the state you're in, if you want to be certified, you will still have to have some form of degree, but I'm sure he's gonna approach that. Here we go.
Become an electrician, and veterans.
But he's
that are
talking
in
about
the
the
military
learning.
that want
The
to
duck.
transition over into the electrical field. And this is everything I tell them and everything I wish somebody told me when I was first trying to figure out how to become an electrician. Because if you get on the internet and Google how to become an electrician, it's very confusing. There's like 1,000 different answers. Most of them are wrong, and half of them are trying to sell you something that you need to pay thousands of dollars to get that you don't actually need. And just so we're clear, I have no horse in this race, right? We're gonna play an ad here in a second. That's how I make my money. Once that ad plays, I've made all the money I'm gonna make off this video. Unlike most, if not all the other YouTube videos on this topic, I am not an instructor at a school that I'm trying to get you to go to. I don't have
Yeah, because he's just talking about how to actually get into doing it. But how you get certified to legally do it, that's going to be on you.
an online course that I've made to teach you how to do this job. I don't have anything to sell you. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. So let's play this ad so I can make my money, and then I'll tell you everything.
Nicholas,
Yes.
you've been so good this year. You should go buy yourself something nice.
These magic beans.
Yes.
Okay, what am I supposed to buy?
Something to feed the whole family.
You want me to go buy a grill for Father's Day with magic beans so I can cook you food?
Yes.
Forklift people get paid really good. That's a good option, Tomas. I think, honestly, that's smart. But you got to be able to drive. You got to be able to drive. That's very important. They do, yeah, they do really good. And there's always a need for people that can do a forklift, that are certified, because we still have to certify people to do it. If you're apprenticing, you probably don't need it. Once you move on is probably when you need certs. Yeah, no license. Yep.
Fine.
6.
Well, Tomas, you don't need a license to drive. You don't need a license. You need a license to drive on public roads. You don't need a license to drive on private roads or private property. Only to kill. Okay. So, for example, living not on public roads out here with lots of dirt and sand, anybody of any age can pretty much drive around out here. So, yeah, no license required. But once you hit the pavement, and there are signs to tell you when you're on county maintained or public roads, now there didn't used to be, then you better have a license. So, but you know, you do need a license to kill too. It's called a hunting license.
6.5 hours later.
Careful. Careful.
Can I write something on this?
I don't give a shit.
What the hell is this?
You told me to get something for Father's Day.
Is this thing gonna cook any meat?
It'll cook something.
All right, here's the deal. Super simple, straightforward business model. You give them money, they turn around and make sure the data brokers on the internet service, whether that be Google, find the ones that are selling your personal. If you want to check them out, I'll have a link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video. All right, here's the deal. When people say I want to be an electrician, what they're actually saying is I want to be a journeyman or a
I mean, you can get a license to kill fish. You can get a license to kill deer, turkey, bear, gator, constrictors. Yep.
master electrician. The only way to do that is to graduate from an apprenticeship program and then take the state
Pythons,
exam
rather.
and pass it. At that point, you become a journeyman. Then, typically, after you've worked as of 1 year for a journeyman, you are eligible to go and take another state exam that's harder to get your master's license. That's it. That's everything. Anything outside of that is unnecessary and probably a waste of money. There is no trade school or college program that you can go to for 2 years and get a diploma or a certificate and be qualified to take the state journeyman's exam. It's not allowed. This varies slightly from state to state, but I'm going to talk about the state of Iowa. It's very similar everywhere else. To graduate an apprenticeship program, you have to have 8,000 hours of on-the-job training, meaning you just have to go to work as an electrician's apprentice for 8,000 hours, which is about 4 years of working 40 hours a week. In addition to that, you need 800 hours of classroom time, and you have
Okay. I'll be waiting with bated breath, Kenny.
to pass a bunch of tests. Now, that classroom time varies from apprenticeship program to apprenticeship program, but typically it's either going to be night classes a couple nights a week for the 4 years, or in my particular case, my boss would just give us a week off.
And I'll pay attention to how it's coming in this time. I can see if I can't do this Discord thing better. I can do this. All right, and if you guys get bored with this, that's fine. But Tomas keeps going, I don't know how to do. I need work.
And
So here we go.
To this school, and we would have classes for 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, and we did that 4 or 5 times a year for the 4 years that I was in. Those classes are paid for by the contractor. If you're in a union apprenticeship, the union has their own schools, and if you're in a non-union apprenticeship, typically the state runs an apprenticeship program. Your contractor pays the state to be able to send you to the school. People argue and get in a big...
Is Kenny in the U.S.? Kenny has said that he's American, so... if he wasn't trolling, that means he's probably in North, South, or Central America, or somewhere in the Caribbean. But he has not been more specific, and he could be trolling. For all we know, he's in Russia.
Pissing match about which one's better. At the end of the day, they both get you the exact same journeyman's license. Buh! But if you go to college first, you can get all the classroom stuff out of the way. Buh! Almost always, no.
That said, he always says things like, you Americans, so probably not.
Oh, that's not true. I think there's 2 or 3 states in the country.
I like how she knows.
Where if you have a 2-year electrical diploma or certificate or whatever, you're allowed to not have to do the classroom portion of your apprenticeship.
I deduced.
You still have to do the 8,000 hours of work, meaning you're still going to be an apprentice for 4 years. And if you come in with that diploma or certificate or whatever,
that's an extra 2 years.
Guess how much more money they're going to pay you as a first-year apprentice? 99 times out of 100. Fucking nothing, okay? I went through this apprenticeship program with plenty of people that did this. We made the same exact amount of money. It does nothing.
My offer is this. Nothing.
And that is why it's kind of a scam, right? When you go to, I don't know, nursing school, you graduate nursing school, you're automatically allowed to go take the state exam and get your RN license.
Could be in Canada rather than Russia. Russia's still part of North America. Night? It's like you can be American or European or African or Australian or Asian. I'm missing a continent, aren't I? Or Antarctican. It's really specific. You know, he's said that he's down to 1 continent, maybe. Well, really, that's 2 continents. 3, I don't know. Russia, Badruski? Anyway. I was just saying Russia as trolly. I wasn't really having a reason to think that he's in Russia. I have heard Russia being part of Europe and Asia, but never America. America is not part. Russia is not part of America. No. Canada is part of America. Russia is not part of America, although they would argue differently because they still try to lay claim to parts of the Alaskan Aleutian Islands.
You can't do that with an electrician. You go and you get their diploma that says you know what the fuck you're doing. Cool. You're still going to go be an apprentice for 4 years, and you paid for 2 years of schooling when your contractor would have paid for it for you. And that's if you're in one of the 3 states that allows that. Almost all the states still require you to go through the 800 hours of the apprenticeship classroom time. So you can literally go to college for 2 years, pay a bunch of money, get your little diploma. Congratulations, you're still sitting through 800 hours of classroom time for your apprenticeship. And anybody that says otherwise either A, fell for the scam and doesn't want to admit it, or B, they have some financial incentive, like they're an instructor at one of these schools and they want to keep their own gravy train running in so they don't have to go back and work in the field and they can sit in their nice office with air conditioning all day long. I'm going to say it again and slower so it really sinks in. Going to college to become an electrician is not necessary in any of the 50 states in the United States of America, and very, very rarely is it even beneficial. To put this into perspective, if we take 2 18-year-old high school kids that just graduated, one of them chooses to go into a 2-year community college program to be an electrician, and the other one just calls every contractor in town, asks for a job as a helper, and starts working the next day. What's going to end up happening is that helper within 6 months to a year is going to be offered the opportunity to join the apprenticeship program, and he's going to start a year before the other guy. Assuming everything goes well, he is then going to turn out, become a journeyman electrician a year before the other guy, make more money faster, and not have $12,000 of student debt to pay off because he got a 2-year diploma. Buh! But that guy with the 2-year diploma is more likely to get hired as an apprentice in the first place. Buh! Maybe, but also not really. I know contractors that actively avoid hiring people that go through these programs because these programs tell these kids, oh,
that's why if you have a program like that, you need to make sure that they have a high percentage rate of their people being hired. That they're really working with local professionals to put them in the community the way that the professionals want them. That's a very important question to get. It's nothing wrong with getting your credentials. That's hey, who knows when that might come in handy. But the you want to make sure that the people going through their programs, and this is true whether it's like the CNA or nursing programs or any of those apprenticeship style programs, you want to look at them and say, okay, what is the percentage of people that get jobs coming out of there, and are you going to help me get a job coming out of your program in the community? Because if they do that, they have an incentive to make sure they're offering things where there's need or demand so that people can actually get employed.
as soon as you graduate our program, you're going to be hired as a journeyman electrician, and you're going to be making $35 an hour or $100,000 a year.
At least that's my hot take.
True. So then they show up to work, they have a bad attitude, and they already think they know everything. They actively avoid hiring these people for that reason. Because again, in reality, these programs count for nothing. You can graduate this program. Congratulations, great job. I hope you had fun.
But a good program has you in the field.
Hired as a first-year apprentice, making first-year
not just a
apprentice
classroom.
wages. Period. End of story. 99 times out of 100. How do I know that? A, I'm a journeyman electrician. B, I was actually one of the guys in charge of hiring new apprentices, and I cannot tell you the number of times I have had kids come in that had some certificate or diploma from a college that thought that that made them a journeyman electrician. So when they come in and I tell them, no, you're not a journeyman electrician, you're not qualified to make $60 an hour and run your own job sites, they're extremely either disheartened or pissed off, and I don't blame them because they just spent 2 years of their life and a bunch of money getting told they're going to have a job paying $60 an hour, and in reality, they qualify for a job that pays them somewhere between $18 and $22 an hour as an entry-level apprentice. And in 47 out of the 50 states, you're still going to have to go to 800 hours of classroom training. Maybe you'll be relearning some stuff that you already learned at college, but that brings into question, why did you go off to college to learn it and pay money when you could have just...
Alaska is very close to Russia. Alaska used to be Russian. And then we bought Alaska from Russia. However, because they found it not profitable. But there are some islands in the middle that are contested by Russia, Alaska, or America, and Japan. And we all, on our maps, have those as our own territory. So there are disputed territories that are part of the islands that come off of, we would say Alaska, Russia would say Russia, and Japan would say Japan. Oh my, oil. Oil's part of it, but really it's about territory, because your international waters are determined by where your territory is, that's land territory, right? So that's just can be relevant to people. For Aussie driving, if you go through a school, every hour of school is worth 3 hours of normal driving, but that only works for 20 hours. For Australia driving, if you go through a school, every hour of school is worth 3 hours of normal driving, but that only works for 20 hours. So if you're learning to drive in Australia, the school counts how many hours you're actually driving. That makes sense. Too much maps, too much brain hurt. I'm assuming you mean brain and not Brian. Yet another name he's throwing out there randomly, guys. Here we go.
For free. Oh yeah, well if you get that 2-year diploma, it can help you advance quicker and make more money.
You have a minimum amount of L hours before you can take the test. Makes sense. I mean, honestly, I think a mentorship system works better because people come out really able to work in that field. It can certainly be combined with education for sure. But nothing makes up like learning to drive. Loser hours? Learning hours, I think he means. But nothing makes up for just doing it. It's just, I don't think we require a certain number of hours. Yeah, learner. Oh, yeah.
Money down the line when you want to get promotions. Buh. Again, no, not true. That's some bullshit they tell you at these schools to get you to spend money on their program, okay? Having a journeyman electrician's license is like the pinnacle of being a journeyman. Everything below that doesn't matter once you have that, okay? Saying that you're going to get preferential treatment because you have a certificate or something from a community college while also having a journeyman electrician's license is like saying if they're hiring 2 ER trauma doctors, they're both board certified ER trauma doctors with experience, but one of them also took a CPR class and knows how to do CPR.
You have learner, then 2 provisional before you can get your license. Wow. I mean, when I was younger, you just had to pass the paper test and the actual test. This person reminds me of Arda. The fat electrician reminds you of Artie? Interesting. Not sure how she'd feel about that. But the I think now it depends on if you're over 18 or under 18. So you'd have to have, we call it a learner's permit. We don't really have provisional licenses. You can drive legally on your own or you can't. But everywhere is going to be different. You probably have less accidents with young people.
So we're going to hire that one and give him the promotion? Not true. They're both fucking trauma doctors. They both know how to do fucking CPR, okay? Nobody gives a shit. You think when some company's hiring a master mechanic to run their auto shop and they have 2 master mechanics with experience that are applying, but one of them has a fucking certificate from Jiffy Lube that says he knows how...
Do not go through Australia licensing if you can. It sounds kind of horrible, but I was trying to be nice. I'm like, well, everybody does things differently, you know? That's how y'all like to do it. Yeah. My parents took me to a road with no people, stuck me behind the wheel, and said, go. And I was like, could you at least tell me which one is the brake and which one is the gas? Yay! It is, but not for what you probably think. I don't know. It sounds really complicated. That said, if you can't drive really well, you're not going to get that license, usually. Yeah.
How to change oil. You think that's going to tip the scales in his favor? No, they're both master mechanics. They know how to change fucking oil. Buh! You're just one of those crazy anti-college people. Buh!
Because they drive upside down. You know, that would be really complicated now that I think about it. I mean, I think that would add a level of difficulty.
No, I'm not. I've been to college. I have multiple college degrees. I'm not anti-college if it's something you need to go to college for. What I am anti
yes,
is
Kitty.
these kids
They drive upside down. Sigh.
And they're going to be a qualified journeyman so that you can milk money out of them and waste their fucking time. That's what I'm against. Buh! Well, if you get your diploma first, you at least won't have to be the new guy and do all the shitty work. Buh! Look
yes,
at me.
You will.
Look at me. Bullshit.
Might need a chill pill.
You are the new guy. You will be the fucking new
Kitty, you might need to chill on the chill pills.
Guy, okay? I don't care what diploma or certificate you have. You are gonna be the guy that's digging the ditches. You are gonna be the guy whose job it is to hold the flashlight and shut the fuck up.
Whimsy expect a longer, non-formal
That's just how this goes.
Tell message for Reason.
Left you a little gift in there. Not too hard.
Okay.
Not too soft.
I hate the Australian licensing track. Knight, you got held for hateful speech. Oh my gosh. How? Oh my gosh. Okay. The Australian cannot say they hate anything about the regulation process of a governmental body in Australia. Probably because I used the word hate. Yeah, but you know what? It's not like you said it about a person or even a country. I could say, I hate going to the ER. Why? Because you don't go to the emergency room unless something's pretty bad. It doesn't mean you hate the fact that the ER is there to take care of your gushing blood out of your head or whatever.
Perfect.
Context.
And that's not even specific to being an electrician or the trades in general. That's pretty much every career path on the planet. Go watch fucking Scrubs or Grey's Anatomy or any of these other medical shows. All the new doctors have to do the scut work, all the work that none of the more experienced doctors want to do. They have to go do it. Okay, this is every job on the planet. There is no school or college you can go to that's going to let you speed run being the new guy, so you might as well get over that right now. And for the love of God, if you went to one of these schools
Twitch
and got one of
nonsense,
these
I agree.
diplomas or certificates, do yourself and everyone else a favor. Do not show up your first day of work thinking that any work is beneath you. Because
that's
at
right.
best, you're going to get bullied, and at worst, everybody's going to absolutely hate you. You're going to get teamed up with some old journeyman that's been doing this for 30 years. He grew up in a house that didn't even have electricity, and when he became an electrician, it was literally going around town.
Kenny hates hate. Wow. Apparently Twitch approves. Oh my gosh. I'm not going there.
Lighting the fucking light poles in his town, okay? He's been an electrician since electricity became mainstream. And he is gonna walk you over to a control cabinet that's got 12,000 wire terminations in it, open it up, look at you and say, okay, college boy, fucking show me what's up. And you're gonna stand there like, fuck, I don't know anything.
You know how those wires do?
Yeah, of course. Yellow, see? The sun is yellow, it heats the ground. That's how they name stuff.
Nope.
And you know what? That's completely okay because you are a first-year apprentice. You just have to understand that you don't know anything so that you can learn. So hopefully by now you understand that if you want to be an electrician, you do not need to go to some college program for 2 years to get that diploma. So the next question is, how the fuck do you get into an apprenticeship?
I don't even know if you guys want to keep watching this. Tomas kept talking about trying to figure out what to do. So I thought this could be cool, but I can move on. I'll keep going till I know, because, okay, I won't stop. Don't stop believing. I'm good either way. Hold on to
It's gonna sound like some boomer back in my day bullshit, but it's literally what I did 10 years ago. If you decide you want to be an
It's an old song. Just humor me, okay,
electrician,
Tomas? Pretend
call
like
every
you got it.
contractor in town, ask for a job as a helper, say you'd like to work your way into being an apprentice, you'll probably have a job by the end of today, if not by the end of the week. And if you could show up on time, have a good attitude, and not be completely stupid, you will have a leg up in the hiring process when that apprenticeship slot opens up, because the company already knows you. They know you can show up on time.
wish.
They know you work hard.
We would love to do that. We've been arguing about who would maybe do it, but we've been talking about if we did that, it would be on karaoke. I know I went to church before. It wasn't a church song, Tomas, but thank you.
Probably already like you. You're already
I'm glad you've
one of
been
the
to
boys.
church.
In that situation, do you think your boss, when he's
It's
picking
good
his
for
next
ya.
apprentice, is going to pick some dude that came from a community college that has expectations that he can't meet as an employer? Or do you think he's just going to give it to the guy that he already knows and trusts? He gives it to the guy he already knows and trusts. I'll give you the answer. The next question I get asked every single time, is this true for all other trade schools? I don't want to be an electrician. I want to be a welder or a plumber or whatever the fuck. An honest answer, I don't know. I'm not a journeyman.
Artie said, Artaku says no, but she did say she would play violin. Yeah, she'll probably let me know she needs all new strings and to get it tuned in and go to a luthier at that point. We'll have a chat. Wait, that isn't a church song? No. No, it's not a bad song. I'm thinking it's Kansas. But I'm not looking right now.
and all other trades. So I can't tell you. My
Journey.
best piece of advice
I think it's
would be to
Journey.
get a hold of a journeyman
But she also
that
has a
is in that
singing
trade
redeem,
and ask them. They'll
so.
give you a really good.
But the problem is, whenever we do real music on Twitch, it just makes it silent. And then y'all don't have content, and we think, no, it's not Kansas. No, I think it's Journey. Yeah, Journey sounds right. I just, look, Kenny, it popped into my head and I said it. It took me a second. I'm sorry. But, anyway, we'll sit here thinking that we're interacting with it and find out, nope, Twitch made it completely silent. And then it'll be on the YouTube video, but it's not there for you guys. Yeah, sorry. Don't worry about it. But as a result, we've just kind of given up on doing real musical stuff on Twitch, which is part of why we're looking over at Kick, because Kick just lets you take the hit and not get money for it, but you can do it for fun. And so, yep, that's probably going to be on Kick streaming. Several of us would like to do karaoke kind of things and share. Look at my brainworms. Come on, we like to share music in this family. It's fun. And I think it's sad that I can't. Yeah, sorry, Twitch keeps changing the rules for that. Yeah, I don't know how some people get away with it and other people don't, but something tells me I would not. From the way they look at my chat and stuff. So, yeah, sorry. I would love to do music. I don't know. No, you don't know. That's fine. But that's part of why we made sure we got Kick channels.
Good idea. How do you get a hold of one of these journeymen? Super simple. If you want to be a plumber, look up plumbing shops in your area, find the one that's got good reviews, call them and say, hey, I'm a senior in high school and I'm doing a high school project because I think I want to be a plumber. Would it be possible for me to interview one of your best journeymen or best foremen or best superintendents for 5 minutes so I could ask them some questions? They will almost guaranteed help you out, get you in contact with that person, and then you can have that conversation. It's that simple.
That's smart.
Now, that being said, all the trades kind of work with each other. I've worked with plumbers, HVAC guys, welders. I've worked around and with everybody. Generally speaking, from what I've gathered, from what I've heard, again, not gospel, just what I've heard from other people, heating and cooling and HVAC are both great. You should probably go to college for them. I've heard that those programs can help you a ton. Same thing goes for automotive. Same thing goes for like tool and die and machining. Welding and plumbing, it's kind of what you want to do because those are very broad career paths. If you want to be like a residential plumber that's going and doing water lines and putting toilets in houses, school can help you with that. If you want to be a welder like in a factory on an assembly line, welding school can absolutely help you with that. But if you want to be the plumber, welder, pipe fitter dude that's making like $1,000 per diem and $150 an hour because he's got the special skills to do these high pressure welds and all this other crazy shit, the schools are not really going to help you with that. And I know this because my best friend, the best man in my wedding, is that guy. He is the one that gets paid a bunch of money per diem and gets paid a ton of money per hour and has to travel to go do specialty welds that only he's certified to do, and not many people can do what he does. And he went to one of these fancy welding schools right out of high school. He went to, I believe it's considered one of the top 2 welding schools in the entire country on the other side of the country from where he lived. He moved out there for 2 years, spent 40, 50 grand to go to this school, and he was told he was going to be hot shit. He was going to get a job paying $50 to $70 an hour right out of the gate. Came back home. The only people that would hire him were willing to pay him $18 an hour to do welds on a factory line. He worked that job for a couple of years, and then he decided he was going to apply to be an apprentice with the plumbing union so that he could get his journeyman's license. And guess what? He got hired as a first-year apprentice. Guess how much money he made? First-year apprentice pay, the same exact amount of money that people with literally no experience that just got out of high school were also making. He said that there was absolutely nothing he learned at this tech school that was not covered by his apprenticeship over the course of that 4 years, and if he could go back and do it all over again, he would have just joined the apprenticeship right out of high school, saved himself $40,000, $50,000 and 4 years of his time. But that's anecdotal evidence. I am not a journeyman welder or pipe fitter or plumber. I would double check with somebody that is. Now, the next question you're going to ask, because this also gets very confusing, is should I be union or non-union electrician? Full transparency.
Apparently Deep Sea Welding likes the schooling, but that's probably because of insurance. With Deep Sea Welding, trying to think of what I can say here. With Deep Sea Welding, you have to understand how pressure works and all these other things with physics and stuff. So it's kind of like being a pilot. you have to have a college degree to be a pilot in a lot of places because you have to understand concepts that are very sciencey and mathy. So even if you do, like, say you go in the Navy to be a deep sea welder, you're going to have to still go through a special school program that is certified. And what is my dream job? Honestly, at this point in my life, my dream job is probably streaming. I really love it. If I could only stream, I would be so happy. I love this. I mean, I did it to just kind of take the pressure off and let myself do some things that were more fun that I wasn't letting myself do. But I really love it. I love the interaction. I love getting stuff together. I love planning things for you guys. It's a lot of fun. And it's a lot of work. But it's the kind of work that, for me, organizes my brain in a way that when I'm not doing it, I'm getting more things done, if that makes sense. So if I could do this and be paid to do this enough to make money here, this would probably be my dream job at this point. How do you like that? But I don't make enough money to pay the bills here. I need a new computer, and but I really love this. I love this a lot, and I would love to do this full time. To be a deep sea welder, you need to be a master diver, which does not need a degree. No, but there are aspects of the welding that I thought did. Yeah. There's I don't know. People I've known, I mean, it's Florida for Pete's sake. We have people involved with both the oil industry or things with conservation with the coral reefs or Navy people. Deep sea welding is a thing out here. And I only have anecdotal evidence, but I've been told that they want you to understand things which are not in a standard, just go do. But maybe you could get it all through an apprenticeship. Maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. I am not a deep sea welder or a master diver.
I was a union
Shocker.
electrician my entire career. Why did I end up going that route? Very simply because they were the first company that hired me, and they...
I hate... I hate the constriction of having that mask across your nose. Yeah. Yeah. I have zero personal experience with deep sea welding. I know that's pretty doxy, but I'm gonna go there. Plus, it really helps to be strong, and big, I would think, because you're handling. Yes, you've got the water, but yeah.
happen to be union. And this is going to piss off everybody because people have very, very strong opinions about whether or not you should or shouldn't be union. Whatever, you can have those opinions. I'm speaking to the 18-year-old kid that doesn't know anything. Deciding that right now is not like a life-altering fate decision, okay? I've met people that started in the non-union apprenticeship.
I know. I look like a deep sea welder. I talk like a deep sea welder. I've been having y'all on. I'm sorry. I honestly thought you worked as that. I'm sorry. I'm going to confess. Oh, I should get a ukulele and have an apology. I'm sorry. That's too much. I better stop.
Contractor quit and then joined the union apprenticeship and went on to become union journeyman. I know people that have flunked out of the union apprenticeship program not because they were stupid or dumb or couldn't hack it.
I don't
because they had
swear
some
like a
personal
sailor.
life issues going on and they ended up losing their job in the union. They went to a non-union shop, continued their apprenticeship, and they became a non-union journeyman. I've met shitty union electricians that I wouldn't trust to wire my house, and I've met union electricians that I've seen frequently.
Ads. All right, we'll wait. She doesn't make dolphin noise. Oh. Yeah, no, I don't. All right, let me know when you're done, Nate. Back. Welcome back, Knight.
Have to correct electrical engineers, and they're absolutely brilliant, and I can say the same exact thing about non-union shops. Being union or non-union is not going to be the determining factor on whether or not you're going to be a good electrician. You are that determining factor.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
The only caveat I'll throw in is if you join the union apprenticeship with a union contractor, it's going to be squared away. You're going to have a very clear path of how to get your journeyman's license, and you will have the same exact thing with, I hope, the majority and the significant amount of non-union shops. However, because non-union shops are less regulated, there is the potential for some contractors to be shitty and not get you the right.
I'll tell you this. As a general rule, unions aren't super popular in this state. There are other states where they're the only way to go. So you get people who are mixed, because like we'll get people from like up north in particular. I think he's right. Just go see where you got work, figure out union or not union later. That's a whole other thing. But the problem with unions is I feel like they like to, there's so many pros and cons, but they like to put you in a pathway, and then they like to say, this is your pathway. So you got to be really careful about that part of it. Laissez-faire, yes, I know unions are fine here. I mean, I'm sure they're fine anywhere, Tomas. He's talking about whether it's a good idea to try to aim to be in one or not, and he's going, what's important is getting the job, not whether you're in a union or not. Worry about that later. You'll learn enough later.
Training with the state accredited program in a timely fashion. So if you're going non-union, which is completely fine, just make sure it's with a good non-union contractor that's going to get you going to the actual state accredited apprenticeship classes. Again, full transparency, I didn't want to make this video. It's not my normal jam. It's not some funny internet business, and it's not some history with a war hero or whatever. That's usually what I do here on YouTube. But I did want to answer these kids' questions. So originally, I just made a social media post over on X or Twitter or whatever the fuck you want to call it, explaining this, and the amount of backlash I got from people that have no idea what the fuck they're talking about was insane. So we're just going to go over and read some of the tweets, and we'll actually see how correct they are. Again, just for context, my tweet essentially said that trade schools to become an electrician are essentially a scam because they're not required in any of the 50 states, and you can just get paid while you learn and have your contractor pay for your actual in-classroom experience, and you should just attempt to do that instead. And here are some of the comments that
He is our hero. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't really saying they're good or bad. I'm just saying that in Florida, the attitude culturally tends to be that meritocracy is far more important, and they don't bear. I know, right? They don't want to waste their time with people who are there just to have a job with the security of not being fired, and doesn't matter whether you do hard work or you're lazier, you get the same raise every year. We like meritocracy, which comes with risk. Other places culturally, and I'm not saying anything specific, but other places culturally, they want that job security. Valid opinion, right? So it's just a matter culturally, I would say overall, and there are lots of unions in Florida, but we do have a law that you cannot require someone to be part of a union, and a lot of people just choose not to. Other places, if you want to work in that industry, you have to be part of a union, because those states value that, those cultures value that. So it really is a cultural thing, and that's one of the cool things, that each state can be different on that. But they're not anti-union specifically. They just believe that meritocracy should be what you want. I personally do not want to work next to somebody who's just clocking in and knows that they don't have to really do their job, and if they don't finish, maybe I have to finish all their crap for them because the job has to be done by the end of the day, and somebody's got to do it, and they know they're going to be paid whether they go home before it's done or not. And as someone who cares that it's done, that would annoy me, and I know that can be a problem. Other places, maybe not. So meritocracy is something we tend to look for around here, and not have a lot of patience if that is not part of the picture.
I received. Quote, fuck basic training, let's just grab a rifle and head off to war. No, fuckhead, the apprenticeship.
I personally like unions because of knowing what happened in history. Oh, we can do history of unions if you like. They tell a wonderful history about themselves, and I think there are places where they had really valid things, but unions are very profitable for the people on top. I'm not convinced they're doing the noble, idealistic things that they were supposedly doing in history. But it doesn't matter. You know, there are people who just love the camaraderie of being in a union. They don't mind the union dues and all of the bureaucracy that comes with it. They love that environment. It really is a personal choice. And Knight, if you lean anti-union, I wonder how Australian that is. I don't know, really. If they were or not what they are now is not what they were. This is a very good point. What they are now is not what they were.
Is the basic training. Do you understand that? Going to a tech school for 2 years before entering your apprenticeship is akin to going to a community college for 2 years to get a certificate or diploma in being a soldier before you ship off to basic training. It's fucking dumb and unneeded. From Anonymous, buddy, it's not about what you learn. If 2 people apply for a job and one can show a degree and the other can't, guess who gets the job? You live in a country where people are showing college degrees to flip burgers at fucking McDonald's. Saying it's not about what you learn in reference to going to college to get an education is the dumbest fucking thing I have ever heard in my entire life. And this attitude of, it doesn't matter if I learn anything as long as I've got a piece of paper that says I know something, is the reason that nobody gives a fuck about college degrees in the trades in the first place. Congratulations, you're part of the problem.
His fans are odd. I don't think those are all his fans. He's saying that's people who responded to him on Twitter, X, whatever we're calling that. He was just responding to a kid, and then all these people jumped in. I don't think they're his fans, but we can move on.
I'm an idiot.
The problem with going down this path is a lot of people can't afford to do an
Yes, he's big enough. He has a lot of aunties. Absolutely.
paid apprenticeship. It's not an unpaid apprenticeship. There is no such thing as an unpaid trades apprenticeship. It doesn't fucking exist. It might have back in the fucking 1800s, but it doesn't right now, okay? I can't speak for every local or every sector of the country, but in Iowa, if you were a first-year apprentice...
Apprenticeships tend to pay. Internships tend to not pay. Ask these questions before you get involved with them. Very important.
A smaller town that's the lower paid. Our first year apprentices are making like, I believe, $20 an hour day one with full health care coverage and retirement
I think they are always
paid. It's not an unpaid apprenticeship. And then every year of the 4-year apprenticeship that you complete, you get a raise. And then once you get your journeyman's license, you get a big raise and you're making like $60 an hour. Quote, or hear me out, you attend and graduate your chosen trade and then enter at top position with top pay. What a dumbass take. No, fuck stick, that's not how that works. You are not going to graduate from a community college and get a journeyman's license and get top pay or anything else. You are qualified to be a first-year apprentice and that's fucking it. You will get paid first apprenticeship wages just like everybody else that has no experience whatsoever. Shut up. This is why I'm making this video.
Because school isn't experience in that way. And okay, to me it's like this. It's the book knowledge versus the actual knowledge. You can talk to somebody who has all the book knowledge in the world. Yes, they taught me that in school. Even back in the 18 to 1100s, sure, back then it was bed and board, but for back then that was pretty good. Yeah, you had guaranteed food, guaranteed clothes, guaranteed, I mean, if something happened to you, they had to pay for your medical, right? And I think some places would even give you a coin for your church offering, but that was not as common, but I've read about that happening too. So clothes. And place to live, place to sleep, food. Not too bad.
Because people that know absolutely.
And sometimes you would get paid at the end of it as well. Odd. Often your own work got paid to you as well. Yeah.
fucking nothing about this have extremely strong opinions because they've been just from kindergarten through 12th grade beaten into their fucking head that if they don't go to some type of school, they're not gonna make a bunch of money. It's not true. It's complete fucking bullshit. And tech schools are sued and go bankrupt and go out of business all the fucking time because they always get in trouble for fraud because they tell these kids, come here, get our certificate, you're gonna be qualified to make $100,000 a year, and it very rarely, if ever, fucking happens.
Yeah, your
I
work
have no
often
reason
did get
lie
paid
to
too
you
as
about this,
well.
okay? I volunteered to be on the hiring committee for my union because I like helping kids. I loved training apprentices. I would go back to doing it in a heartbeat if this YouTube thing dries up. So again, just so we're on the same page, trade school, tech school, some program at a community college that gives you a certificate.
My history teacher said don't go to college if you don't want to. I think the more accurate advice would be, what do you want to do? If you know you want to do something that you require college to do, the sooner you start getting that out of the way, the better. But I think the other problem is, in other countries, it's okay to go earn some money and then use that money and workplace experience while you're going through school and go slower. But in America, they tend at the colleges to really look down at you if you're working your way through. They want you in debt. They want you to have to do them full time. They discourage you from having other jobs. What matters is, like, if you want to be a doctor, you got to go to college. If you want to be a lawyer, you got to go to college. Yeah, you said it. But if your dream is to be, well, here's an example, an electrician, I don't know anybody that recommends college for being an electrician. Some people recommend trade school. And he's just telling you what it will or won't do for you so you can make an informed decision. I think that's valid. But it really depends on what you want to do. So I wouldn't necessarily say don't go to college if you don't want to. If you're expecting to be a veterinarian and you don't want to go to college, you can apprenticeship at vets places all you want. You are never going to be a veterinarian, even if you learn everything a vet needs to know. You need a degree to do that, I think, in most, if not all states. So it depends on what you want to do. But what you could do is work in a vet clinic while going to school to be a veterinarian and be communicating with them about what's your best path and how's the best way to go about it. And you will come out with work experience, not in debt, hopefully, and actually ready to move forward with your life in a positive way. So I know nothing about becoming a veterinarian. By the way, I just randomly picked that as less time to do and learn than a human doctor, but at the same time, it is more complicated than selling popcorn at the stadium for a baseball game, you know? I don't know. Anyway.
Certificate or a diploma to be an electrician is not required in any state in the United States of America, and rarely is it helpful. It's more often than not a humongous waste of both your time and your money.
I'm trying to help you.
The only people that I would recommend them to are high school.
Yeah, even if you do have debt, it will be less debt. Exactly.
Trades, but they also want to go get a college experience and party and drink with their friends, and they want to learn something applicable to that, and they just have an understanding of they're not going to be hot shit just because they graduated. Good, great option. If you want to go blow 12 grand, make memories, have the time of your life, awesome. Again, same thing with military veterans. You've been in the military for 4, 6, 8, 10 years, and you have a GI.
I like that she actually reacts to the video instead of letting it play. I'm supposed to. It's transformative content, right? Isn't that what we're supposed to do? Besides, I like it better to actually, I don't know, what's the point of a reaction without a reaction? I'm so confused.
Build is going to pay for everything, and you just want to go off for a couple of years and party and drink and have fun. A great purpose for that too. Just please, for your own good, do not let them convince you that you were going to get this diploma or certificate after 2 years of a community college and you're going to come out making $100,000 a year and that you know as much as a journeyman electrician, because neither of those things are true.
And that's all I have to say about that.
So yeah, sorry this wasn't a normal Fat Electrician or Fat Files video. This is kind of a one-off. I'll get back to my normal content as soon as possible. I've just had thousands of people ask me this question, and I'm in a unique position with this platform to get this answer out to as many people as possible.
Okay. I I've got to show you guys. Hold on. I don't know if I can find it. What was it? I think I'm not going to really watch this one. This is pretty heavy, and I'm not trying to watch
Tell
this.
by the thumbnail.
I'm not going to watch that. But they had a merch pin. Oh, maybe it's not there anymore. Where's their... How do I find their merch? They have the coolest shirt, but I don't know how to find it now. Maybe it wasn't on this one because it was more serious.
It's always fun starting a YouTube video when you just know it's going to upset a lot of people.
Oh, be quiet. I don't want you now. I'm done with you. It's a really cool shirt, but I couldn't afford it at the time. But I was going to show it to you guys, but I can't remember where it was. It was in the Unsubscribed podcast, though. But they did it for April. That's what it was. Unsubscribed podcast. It would have to be April was how many months ago? This is July, 4 months ago, right? Interesting. Yeah, I just realized that was a really dumb thing to say, but this is so mixed up. I just wanted to see. Maybe I needed to go into the channel. I'm trying to not. My gosh, this is such a pain in the butt. Videos. Maybe they have a link to their merch from their channel. No, it's probably only for the month of April. They do a weaponized autism one every. I took a screenshot when it was there. No, that's not the way to find it. Oh well. I just think they have a really fun. They have fun merch every year for autism. Too, any headache? I don't feel bad right now, but probably. I like that not all streamers know that. Interesting. Too, any headache? Okay, I'm aware that there are streamers that put something on and they do chair reacts. I know it's a thing, but A, I don't think I'm big enough to get away with that. B, that would be really weird with a VTuber. And C, it seems really boring for me and for you. I don't know why anybody would do that. So if I'm gonna react, I'm gonna react. To the point that you're going, would you just shut up and let us see what he's talking about? I don't know. Huh? Yeah. I would rather go too far the other way. Ooh, the most dangerous cryptid ever featured. I do enjoy their podcast. I'm not gonna lie, but it's like 3 hours long. There's no way. I never felt like that yet. Well, cool. I'm glad. Anyway, I think we did too much of that kind of thing, probably. I could give there. You three are the few VTubers I watch. Aw, that's really sweet. I could show you your animal chiropractor with cows again, Tomas. I know you like that. 1 hour video reacting to 5-minute video. I know. Well, you three, I know. My son doesn't count, I'm guessing. He seems to tend towards the ladies, Kenny. I think he tends towards the ladies. Anyway, if I do anything by them, it's probably going to be from the short side because but then their shorts are so short. Lost Chan doesn't count. Ooh, Tomasi's got you. Because I've seen you talking about watching my son. And I know you watch Artie and Hedge and me. And you do watch Lost Chan sometimes when I rate him. Alright. You guys want a crazy, crazy story? What was his name? I played it for you last time. What was his name? I forgot it. The comedian dude. Exactly. I said the few. Crazy story? Okay. Yeah. Oh, no. This is a Florida story. You want a Florida man story? I'll get you a Florida man story, but I can't remember. I can't remember the name of the comedian. I showed him to you guys last time. Yeah, okay, here we go. AJ Wilkers. Okay, here we go. You ready for a crazy story? A true story. And it is actually really sweet because he's using this video to try to get money for his parents for a house.
Anyway, so my dad's donkey punching a flaming...
This is the clip. I think this is the whole story, but I think he starts it in a weird place.
...trailer, just trying to fucking... I wasn't... Some recent shit happened in, like, real life that I'm going to tell you guys about, and he's like...
Well, I have plenty of comedians, and I showed you Matt Mitchell earlier, but we can look at a comedian if you want. I'm just showing you a crazy story by a comedian, but it's a little heavy. I know this place. You know this place? This is not the Golden Gate Bridge. We'll go forward.
Really jokes yet? This is just some traumatic shit that happened to my family recently, all right? So on Monday...
Actually, let's see. I don't know. Maybe he did this show. I don't know where he did this show, but I thought he did it in Florida. Portland. Okay. So this is in Portland. Shows what I know.
My
Pennsylvania?
Yeah. They were able to put the fire out, but between the fire and like the water damage, it's basically a full loss, right? My parents live in a mobile home on 8 acres in the middle of nowhere. Do you understand? Like, my parents live in howdy-doody country. So when they first realized there was a fire and called the fire department, on the fire report, there was a 5-minute delay between calling dispatch and dispatch contacting a fire department because they had to figure out which fire department to send to my...
Yes, that's why you should always, if you're in the middle of nowhere, you need to know which fire department you are. You need to tell them. It cuts time.
Parents section of the fucking boonies.
Portland, yeah, so many bridges.
County to call. Because they're like, well, it's just in the middle of nowhere. So fucking, who wants dibs? You know what I mean?
I had to call one time about a forest fire, and it ended up being hundreds and hundreds of acres. And it was coming up to my property, and I was trying to figure out if you were supposed to evacuate or not. And I was having to sit there and go, you know, the dirt road that goes this way off of that dirt road off of... half the roads aren't named. It can be a thing.
It took almost an hour. Yeah, somebody followed
5
me on
minutes is
social
enough.
media. Fuck yeah.
Well, that's what this story is. 5 minutes is enough to make the house too far gone to save. I will say, I remember driving by. I was going somewhere. You have those too. Yeah, I was going. It was shocking to me. I went into a neighborhood and I spent maybe 15 minutes in the neighborhood. And as I was driving out, I realized that a house that was there when I went in wasn't. It turned out that a homeless person had broken into this guy's mobile home, and they lit a match or something by propane, and it didn't even blow up. It burned that fast. It was just gone. It was shocking. Those things those things are very flammable.
It took almost an hour for the fire department to actually get out to my parents. So it was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. My dad had already gotten home from work. His shoes and socks are off. Like, he's comfortable. And my dad has the kind of feet where once the shoes and socks come off, they don't go back on. Right?
They're swollen.
My dad's feet are fucked up. Yeah, like, my dad has feet that look like somebody like boiled alligator feet and then like degloved them. Like, my dad legit has had to cut his toenails with an angle grinder before. Like, his big toenails are have the level of thickness to them that you like, there might be one of those like Jurassic Park mosquitoes and amber in one of those motherfuckers.
You also, ouch. I think everybody has mobile homes, Tomas, in at least this country. I can't think of an area that wouldn't. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I doubt he calls them Hawaiian shirts, but yeah, he generally wears something very colorful.
But he had just gotten comfortable. My mom had just put she was doing, I think, a pot roast. She'd put dinner in the oven. She was in her room watching television, just relaxing. And then all of a sudden, my dad's like, something is on fire, right? And he looks into the kitchen, and there's smoke billowing into the kitchen, right? According to the fire department.
I meant forest fires. Yes, there are forest fires everywhere. If there are trees, there are forest fires. So we have policies to deal with our forestry to mitigate that and make them less risky for the houses and stuff. But oh heck yeah, I can't. Again, I mean, it might not be seasonal everywhere, but everywhere is going to have forest fires sometimes.
Department, it's either the light or the fan on their back.
If you build it, they will come.
Fire. It burned into like the wall and the ceiling of the house, and then got into the attic and all of the attic insulation in a mobile home, and just whoosh, like started a fire through the entire ceiling. So my dad sees the smoke, and he's like, "Honey, something's on fire." Except my mom was in her room having her little ADHD time, binge watching Chicago Fire. And so she literally yells back at my dad, it's like, "No, honey, it's on TV." And he's like, "No, honey, it's in the kitchen." So my dad gets my mom out of the house, goes back, gets all the animals out of the house, runs back in one more time to the gun safe to get out all the guns and ammunition. Because the last thing you want is all the ammunition to heat up and just start fucking firing off at all the
this is true.
First responders. So he gets everything out of the house, and then my 61-year-old, 4 months after heart surgery dad starts fighting this fire Papal style. You understand? He's running around the yard. Yeah,
Yeah. You do what you gotta do.
Around the yard in the boonies, barefoot.
Yeah.
With his sensitive ass fucking crocodile feet, dude. And they live out in the boonies where the only thing on the ground are sticks, rocks, and sand spurs kind of shit. He's like, ow, 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 to the hoses. They have garden hoses on both sides of the house. So he grabs the first hose and a ladder and just goes over to the house where the wall and the roof is engulfed in flames, puts the ladder right in the fire.
Yeah. The sand spurs. Whoo. Yep.
And just climbs up on it, just starts trying to put it out in front of him. And then my fucking retard strength ass dad's solution is, hey, inside the roof and ceiling is on fire, so I just gotta punch a hole in this flaming wall like fucking Daniel in that fucking karate tournament, just fucking with the bricks on fire. Dad's just on the ladder trying to punch a hole in the wall with a water hose wrapped around his hand like fucking brass knuckles. And then, because my parents, they retired from doing foster care, but they still take in strays. So my brother-in-law's best friend, Nick, lives in like a shed tiny house right behind like my parents' house. So he realizes the house is on fire. He runs out. He grabs the other hose because my fucking dad's just standing in the fire trying to fight it, trying to keep the house
And this is funny, and he tells it in a funny way, but this is actually a true story.
from going up in flames. And then now Nick is spraying my dad with
Yep.
the water hose, trying to keep my dad from going up in flames. And my dad, he doesn't drink anymore. My dad hasn't drank, like, my entire life. He's had, like, 5 beers, and every one of those beers has been immediately after he's, like, come home from the VA hospital and been like, well, I have a kidney stone. Because that's how he deals with kidney stones. He's like, I'm going to drink this beer and then piss this blood real quick. And I only tell you that to tell you that my dad is built retard tough. Do you understand? Like, he doesn't understand pain. So he doesn't understand that he was just in a fire and he doesn't have any, like, hair left on his arms. And Nick is spraying him with a water hose and he's just getting pissed off about it.
But you're doing what you gotta do or you're gonna lose everything. This guy gives something with the mullet. You like his mullet? I think on the podcast when he was on there, they were comparing him and Brandon Herrera and having a contest.
Realizing that the guy's saving his life. He's just like, will you stop? And he's like, no. And he's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
It was like that fucking, what was that TikTok? Like, what's your name? Zeke? Fuck you, Zeke. It was literally that, but with water hoses in a flaming trailer. Which sounds like the name of like a Christian book. Do you know what I mean? 2 water hoses and a flaming trailer. One family story of perseverance and the road to Christ. You know, like one of those kinds of shits. Anyway, so my dad's donkey punching a flaming trailer, just trying to fucking... while standing on a ladder and like haymaker, so it's rocking back and forth.
Yeah.
Nick sprayed with a water hose. My mom is like standing in the yard holding chihuahuas and screaming. It's a real Three Stooges scenario going on. But the fire department finally gets there. A police officer gets there first, and he's like, you know, you can stop, like, the fire department will be here. And my dad's like, hey, are you gonna fucking get up here and do it? Then I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
And my dad doesn't give a shit. Like, he doesn't respect authority because he doesn't respect anyone he can knock out. And like the quiet confidence of like a chimpanzee at the zoo. You know what I mean? I'll sit right here and calmly eat this banana, but the second that you raise your voice at me, I'm gonna fuck you up.
I told you this was a Florida man story, just for the record.
In fact, give me that banana. Anyway, I don't know how familiar you all are with mobile homes, but mobile homes are pretty fucking famous for burning the fuck down.
I'm laughing at the one guy in the audience, how he laughs more. Well, to be fair, too, this was filmed a week after the fire, I think, so he is really stimming a lot because he's freaked out, but he's also dealing with it by laughing and sharing and, you know. But yeah, the audience does very much add to the video.
Right? And with like my parents being as far out in the middle of nowhere as they live, and the response time being as long as it was, when the fire department actually got out there and finished helping getting the fire put out, they literally were like, we've never seen one of these still standing after this long. And then my mom started telling them about my fucking dad just fucking Brock Lesnar-ing the roof of the house and just fucking, you know, and so that I don't know, that's who my dad is. You know what I mean? He's just like that. And my parents, like, this entire time, ever since that incident, like, the fire department basically told him, he's like, we can't like call it a full loss, but your insurance is going to tell you it's a full loss because it's a mobile home that is now filled with water that has a giant hole in it. Like literally the day after, when the inspector finally let my parents go back into their house to collect some clothes and stuff from closets that weren't touched, it started raining in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's what we said was. Yeah. But that's what the fire inspector's like. Yeah, there's no saving this because like the longer it's sitting here like this, like
just
it's
gonna get worse
and so on and so forth. And I don't know. My parents have just been in like good spirits about it because I don't know. They're the kind of people that like when we were growing up. When I was 17 years old. I was a senior in high school. The Thanksgiving before I graduated, we had a call in the middle of the school day. Growing up, my parents they built. I was like a toddler at the time. They bought 10 acres, put a mobile home on it, and then built like a concrete block house, right? And then when I was like 13, 14, my mom's brother got remarried to my mom's best friend, and then they bought like 7 acres adjacent to us. So we literally had like our own private road to my aunt and uncle's house. Well, when I was, like I said, that Thanksgiving, right before I graduated high school, we got a call in the middle of the school day that my uncle had been hit head on by a dump truck on his way home from work at the prison that he worked at. And he ended up surviving the accident, but had severe like physical and mental disabilities moving forward. And so my mom quit her job at the time, shut down her business, and basically moved into my aunt and uncle's house to take care of him full time as like a caregiver. And my dad was working to pay the mortgage for both houses. And it reached a point where they couldn't keep both houses. So my parents gave up their house so my aunt and uncle could keep their house, right? So my parents gave up my childhood home that they built with their bare hands. So I was trying to figure out like how my parents could be in such like a good mood after like a devastating house fire.
Well, it depends on what you call good, Knight. It's not good, but he's saying he feels like the way they handled it was good.
And then my parents literally sat me and my sister down and it's like, look, we don't care because we already lost the house that we cared about. Right. And that was fucking devastating to hear, right? And so there's always been this thing, like my parents have never said it out loud, but I knew how much it meant, like that house meant to them, and I knew like what they felt.
That's the kind of thing where you're glad for the family that they didn't pass, but you also wonder. It's tough. You hope they have quality of life.
When they lost it, right? And so ever since I started comedy, like ever since I first, like somebody first told me that I could do this for a living and I could be good at it, like my goal has always been to get good enough at comedy that I could buy my parents that house back. Because it's our fucking house. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so that's kind of been my goal ever since I started comedy, was to break that generational curse and like get my parents' house back and like recover that family home. And now somehow I'm so far in the hole that now I owe them 2 fucking houses. So here's the deal, you guys. I realize that probably wasn't as funny as some of you were expecting, but they lit me a fucking while ago, dude. We've been out of time. So I hope you all had a good fucking time tonight. Are you not entertained? If you enjoyed the show so much that you're like, I want to do something in support, go on my Instagram, A2A Wilkerson Comedy. Click the links in my bio. There's a GoFundMe for my parents. It's on my Facebook as well. Fucking. That's the real MVP. What's your name? Debbie. Give it up one more time for Debbie. Thank you, Debbie. Thank all of you for coming. Thank you for having a good time. Thank you for letting me get some of that shit off my chest. Get home safe. I love you so much, Portland. I'm anytime.
That was like a year and a half ago, so the GoFundMe is probably not still up. But that's a Florida story. There's no way around it. Woo! People did jump in and try to help. That was really cool. Wonder if anybody has a hopefully funded, I don't know. He kind of comes and goes because the algorithm doesn't like him because he says what he thinks. And that can be a problem. But, whoa! But he can be really funny. Alright, so what's your comedian? Help me out. Knight, you said you have a comedian. Do you want stand-up or skit? I mean, we've already done a couple. I don't care. You are. Okay. How about I do try to keep it a little cleaner, but obviously these were Randy felt fake. Okay, well, let's see what we get. Actually, there's an Australian comedian that I watch sometimes, but he's definitely not clean. Oh, wow. Okay, but those are all over an hour long. Is there a good short? How about any gamers?
Any gamers in the house?
Oh, buys a bookshelf. Okay. I'll find that next.
Fucking checks out. Okay,
Okay, well.
Gamers in the house? Yeah, that fucking.
Okay. So bookshelf. Buys a bookshelf. All right. Randy Feltface. Bookshelf on Gumtree. Okay, there we go. I don't think we're going to watch a whole 21 minutes at this point. Let's see what time we're at. Yeah, it's already almost 9, but we can watch a little bit of it, and depending, we could start with it, but he does seem to have a vocabulary.
I'll quickly tell you about it and then I'll read the book. But I found it strange because it made me start to think about the way like our methods of communication have sort of changed over the years. You know, in the old days,
that's short but very funny.
You'd just go see Gareth the bookshelf guy because he was the dude in your tribe.
Night is Australia, Muppet Land.
That made the bookshelves. He had a little bookshelf cave. He was reputable. Now any mad bastard can sell their shit on Gumtree. You know what I mean? As a species, we're sort of able to cope with knowing and gossiping about around like 100 or...
Is Gumtree a big thing in Australia? I have to ask because I know there's another Australian comic that I watch sometimes that's complained about Gumtree too. What is Gumtree? Is it like a Temu kind of thing? I mean, Amazon or something? It sounds like it's just cheap online crap. That's what it sounds like every time people talk about it from context. But I'm just curious.
150 people. That's like the limit of our tribe. Any more than that, it starts to get confusing, which is why we created abstract constructs like territories and deities to unite larger groups of people under an imaginary common factor. And it works a treat because we only really gather en masse on special occasions.
It's Facebook Marketplace. No emu. Is there, you know, if it's Temu and emu, maybe it should be Temu. That hurts my head.
But I think like social media and...
I don't Facebook. I'm sorry. I had no idea. I didn't think... We just say the Facebook Marketplace, the people who do that. I didn't realize it had a name.
It's fucking all that up, you know? I don't think we're able to deal with the thousands of people we're connected to on a daily basis, and as a result, we neglect our immediate 150, you know? That's why I never get invited to parties anymore.
Craigslist,
it's not
yeah.
I ramble on about veganism and fisting old ladies.
What?
It's because I'm not on Facebook and everybody just assumes you are. I am so behind on the births, deaths, and marriages of my friends that I feel like the time traveler's wife every time I go to a party. I'm like, this is Tim, he's our son. He's 6 now. Fucking didn't even know you were pregnant. Anyway, and you know smartphones aren't that great. You know that, right?
Okay, I have that problem because I refuse to Facebook. But, you know, thank goodness most of my family is coming around. I can't do this 20 minutes. I think by the time he gets into it, I feel like he's doing a slow roll in, which will be super duper duper funny. But I feel like I don't have the 20 minutes to commit right now. Oh, it is. Yeah, we could do this next time. Like, it's okay. But something like this is funnier when you see the whole thing. Like, you don't want to watch. By the time he's in the joke, I hate to cut him off because then it'll be weird. But we could start this at the beginning next time. It's okay. I'm happy to do that. I like comedy stuff. I even have some people that I watch that do comedy in Australia. Watch it in parts sort of thing. Yeah, you can do that. I don't mind. I've told you guys I'm just going by kind of where it goes. And there was something last time, the measurement system, that reminded me of the Waffle House video. So I went there. If we want to do comedy stuff next time, I can definitely come up with some. My comedy doesn't tend, that I personally pick, doesn't... I don't like the really vulgar stuff, but, you know. He has shorts, but I don't remember the names of any of them. Well, I went on some of the shorts, but they were so short. I think you have to have watched the longer joke. Like, but there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, my comedy is different. You know, right down to there was that watermelon smashing guy. He was funny at one point. Oh, gosh. Okay. We're going to get some interesting quotes. Interesting. Yeah. This is turning into a very interesting feed. Rip, watermelon smashing guy? Oh my gosh. Yes. All he did was really go around on a stage telling jokes and smashing watermelons and other things with a sledgehammer. He died 2 years ago. Yeah, I'm not surprised. He was funny because he was shocking and he did have a sense of humor, but then he never really changed it up or adapted, and so there are people who liked him doing the exact same thing forever, but for the most part he stopped being his I see. So watermelon smashing kills you. I don't know, maybe. I watched that in history. What kind of history class did you have, Tomas? I mean, I don't mind. I'm starting to wonder, though, what happened in that classroom. Whimsy, watch this one video if you got a moment, please. You gotta tell me what it is. If it's... I'm kind of winding down here. What video? And Night, okay, Night, do you want me to wait? Because you usually come in like an hour in. If I do this at the beginning, you won't be there yet. Hold on. Here's what I'm going to do. I screenshotted it with my phone. So I can look it up later in the stream next time. So when you come on, after you come on, let me know in chat, and then I'll pop that on. It's watermelon related. You can watch it whenever, but if you can wait, that would be nice. Yeah, I'll wait. Because I just realized you're often, I don't know if you're just not up yet, or ride your emu faster. I took a picture of it with my IRL phone, so I'll be able to look it up really quickly on here without, yeah. Search up watermelon launch CBS. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go.
Think long and hard. Do what you gotta do to make it go right into that guy. Don't give up on me now, please. Just focus.
I'm not giving up.
This.
I'm just getting frustrated.
You got this, sister. You were super.
Okay. I'm just going to make a comment, and it's maybe catty as a fellow female. If you're doing an activity like this, the proper undergarments are a good idea. And maybe not such a low-cut shirt, because stuff's going to show. I mean, if you're wanting to show them off, that's fine, but don't be surprised when they show. That's all I'm saying.
Show that knight who's boss.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, God.
She deserved it. Look, if you're trying to show them off, yeah, ouch. Oh, my gosh, girl. This is what Kitty wanted to watch.
Are you okay?
No. That's a good way to break your nose. You might get copyright. I'll probably get copyright. Hey, baby doll. Hi. Yeah. Yeah, I think she actually has to go. Poor baby. All right. Yeah, I'll probably get copyright. Like I said this up front. I'm figuring that any React content I do when I open that door, that's why I kept it 1 day a week. Because if I ever am monetized on YouTube, I will not make a penny on any of the reaction streams. They're just saying. But I don't care. I think they're fun, and I like the interaction. It's a choice.
I don't doubt.
No, she won't. Yeah, I will.
Okay, so what do we do now?
You have to finish.
What?
Cool.
There's no out.
I can't even see straight.
They don't call it the Amazing Race for nothing.
Okay. This is so dumb. It's such fake. I'm sorry. If you need to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And then you get hit in the face. And look at that mascara. There's no freaking way that looks like that if she would really just this minute hit. This is like, I don't believe it. Because if you're still racing, you're still racing. Stopping and going, I can't see straight. Yeah. I cry something stinky's there. Yes, you judged the lady. I judged. Is real. No, I'm not saying it's not real. I'm saying I think that little piece that looks separate from everything else was filmed after. She was probably all sticky and upset. I have a short one. Studio C nuclear growth. Oh, okay. But then that's got to be it. Am I going to be upset that I did this? That is amazing how quickly that popped up there. All right. 3 minutes. Here we go.
Matt, hi. Hey, Mal. Did you see we have a surprise inspection?
I did. Listen, I have some terrible news, but I don't want them to find out about it, okay? So just, act like everything's peachy, okay?
I think I've seen this.
But they can't see us.
Oh, okay. Well, what's the problem?
I would not be surprised if she went to hospital. Well, I'm sure she did. If nothing else, they want to check her out. And she easily could have broken her nose that way or caused other damage. I'm not saying she was not hurt. I'm saying I think the part about I have to go on, either you still feel the need for the race or fracture skull, I believe. That would make sense. Those things have some serious power. I have seen all of these. Oh, gosh. All right.
Might have a leak. Oh, no. That is potentially catastrophic.
I know. And the backup safety systems don't seem to be functioning properly.
Oh, if we don't don't get that fixed, we are going to melt alive.
Yeah.
I just got word from engineering that the core is really overheating.
Oh, did they check up the back?
Because of drama class.
I'm not sure.
Oh, well, let's
You know, I thought for a minute you were going to say history, Tomas. Drama makes more sense.
find out while we're still unmelted. Hello?
Matt, I'm so sorry. The coolant system is offline.
I heard. I'm assuming you released the emergency pressure valve.
I did, but it's not enough.
And the backup safety systems won't kick on either, huh?
No, this isn't a joke, Matt. I'm freaking out.
I know. I can barely feel my legs.
What is wrong with you?
Listen, Jason, you better pull it together and find a way to fix this. Or so help me, I promise I will cause you unspeakable pain. Even if your body is about to be evaporated, okay? Guys!
Oh, careful, Whitney. The inspectors are right there. What's wrong with your hand?
I got burned by the reactor. It's really bad. I think I can see bone.
Bone is all I can see. Oh, they're watching. Oh, sorry, Whitney. I'm sorry. Oh, this must be excruciating.
Wait, boy, my bones are leaking. Just
All right.
kidding. We don't want them to see Whitney's creepy skeleton hand.
Is it still a hand if it's insides or it's outsides? I'm sorry, Whitney. Raise your eyebrows. Look happy.
Okay, just turn around.
You guys, it looks like the reactor's going critical!
Good job, Jeremy. Keep a happy face for the inspectors.
What inspectors? This is the end!
Oh, I am so sad right now. There are so many things I didn't get to do.
Guys, Jason got the coolant system online and the reactor is stabilizing.
Wait, that really is good news.
Yeah, we're gonna be fine.
Oh.
Whitney, what happened to your hand? I'm gonna go throw up.
All right, you guys, good job. We avoided mass panic. Stacy.
There is one of them, Tomas humor. There is one of them finding out a dead friend was a thief. Interesting. Meow. Hi, okay. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. But okay. Yeah.
Can help Jason with anything? Whitney, go ahead and drive yourself to critical care, whatever that is at the hospital. Just take care of that.
stick shift.
Okay, you can do it. Okay, don't complain.
Greetings, Artie from Kenny. Hold on. Wow, yeah. I told them they could have one more quick one. So this is 3 minutes at 2:55.
It's easier to just have Sid come in and see.
I know. He seems weird every night. He just likes to know I'm alive. It's okay. Hi, Artie from Night. The Reaper. Meow gets out of the room or you will feel ankle pain.
Okay.
Well, they sure need to learn to turn off that intercom.
No kidding.
Hi, I'm Mallory. Thank you for watching this video and make sure to watch more by subscribing wherever.
Okay. Okay, guys. I think we have gone over a wide variety of things. Oh, now I go sleep. Oh. Well. Yeah. Oh, Past Life S&P Out of Context Week 2 came out. I didn't even notice that. Yep, it is definitely ending stream time. I am... Tomas, give me back my 3 minutes and 14 seconds. It gave him fond memories of drama class in high school. We relived it with him. It reminded me of high school, that's for sure. Oh, alright, guys. I hope everybody has a really good evening. Tomorrow is technically Minecraft Day, but I did Minecraft yesterday and nobody seemed really into it. So if you want me to do something else, just pop it in Discord. Y'all had drama classes? Actually, I did have drama class. I needed an extra elective at one point. My senior year. It wasn't very serious because literally, they told me I didn't have enough electives, and so I took that one. Tomas seems to have taken it because he wanted to, which is even better. All right. Oh. Yeah. All right, guys. Everybody have a good evening. You let me know if you actually want to see Minecraft or not. I'll probably still stick with it unless somebody says something else. He doesn't seem very dramatic to me. Learned how to become an electrician, saw a Muppet, watched a man talk about his parents' house burned down, and saw an almost nuclear meltdown. I know, right? That's a great sum up, Knight. You should do the descriptions for my VODs that I don't bother with. Be well, everyone. Be well, everyone. Bye, Whimsical. Bye, Knight. Bye, Kenny. Bye, Tomas. Bye, anybody who is lurking that isn't showing up, because there's usually at least one. All right. Goodbye, guys. Bye.